finna jump for the shit. All top when I speak, all cap with the speech till they caught up in the rapture. So out of line with the phrase game. Let's take a break, been a long day. Hit your line, what you fall through with the nightsticks. Maybe help me spark the ideas. We got nowhere else to go, it's only up from there. I've been on my own, just running through the field. Say vivid for the ears, I know that's how they like it. Yeah, I fantasize it. Tell me that it's real when it's all said and done. I said it how I fit it. I let them hear the fear of a passive aggressive angry black man with a passion. Steady grip when I shoot to the stars with a full clip. Trying line with a loose sleep. Then I proofread till I lose sleep. Couldn't handle the truth, you bed with the writing. Never first sight shit, art over hype shit. Need a sound bite for the time capsule. Press play, they pause time for a bit. Smitten, I admit it, could they kick it? I'm in love with the fine print. Scribble type of shit they wouldn't find behind it. Why the suspicious behind the eyelid? Tell a reckless with the clauses. Careful with the cost me. Need this shit forever, but I never ever stop until they put me in the coffin or they off me. Fuck niggas quick to auction, they false print. Always treat the shit with a caution. Hold it 10 toes down for the dogs, you can see the paw print. Searching for the answers in the bottom of the last strip of the handle. The beginning of the candle. Doing shit to myself, give me fears when I'm looking in the mirror. I'm seeing somebody else, yeah. Mi corazón is on my sleeve shoulder. Everything in a rose gold around the globe from me. Couldn't pinpoint on the globe, so I wanted to go from it. Just know that I don't fit in, but I wanna feel everything, yeah, 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 everything, yeah. I got my eyes low with the sky foes where the rhyme flows. I don't really know just what we might go with the mind scope. So many things I never learned with my eyes closed. Too busy with the schemes on the telling of my dreams on the rail, bitch. I grind like my life's on the line, hella wire. So fall through with the light sticks. We open up when the light flicks. On sight, yellow casseroles, everything around me. Hunting for the bounty. Wait, that nigga.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? What's up? What's up? What's up? Shout out to Martin. Hey, listen, guys. Hey, it is Talk That Talk Tuesday. Y'all know what time it is. What's up? What's up? We're about to have these. Shout out to Martin. We're about to have these hard conversations. It's gonna be hard to have these conversations because a lot of people in our community, we talk about these things behind doors. We don't ever talk about them on a public setting. What we accept, what we don't accept, what we believe, what we don't believe. And tonight we're going to talk about it. And I got the right cast tonight to talk about it. And the answer to you, Thanos, is yes. Go ahead and send it to him for me. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, man. All right. So listen, guys, thank you guys for being here. Let me go over here to the chat real quick. All right. Now, y'all know we got Stephen Day. He's a member, the green guy. He's in the building tonight. Stephen Day, thank you for being here. Y'all already know. Y'all call her Shamira, but I call her Shoo Shoo. I deemed her Shoo Shoo months ago. Shoo Shoo is in the building tonight. Jay Prince is in the building tonight. Thank you, Jay Prince, for being here, brother. Good to see you, man. All right. Then we got the Thanos Theory in the building tonight. All right. Shout out to all the people that are coming in, that are going to be here. Let's see here. Now, Mandrell going to ask me where the link at, and I sent it to him a day ago. Anybody know who Mandrell is? He getting old, and when 50 hits you, 50 hits you, you know. But I went ahead and sent him the link anyway, guys. Golly. But anyway, guys, thank you guys for being here. We had a hell of a cast in the back. I'm going to bring them up as the people are coming in, guys. Please stay in the chat because remember, we got a new segment on Talk That Talk Tuesday. All right. Look at that in the chat. All right. Remember, we have a segment later on in the show. Look at that in the chat. All right. And we're also going to have a few people come up before we close out. Express your thoughts. We're going to have conversation. So again, thank you guys for being here because without you guys, none of this is possible. All right, so let's go ahead and get everybody in. Y'all know how we do it on Talk That Talk Tuesday. We gets it in over here. Mandrell just came in, guys. Look, let's get a hand clap for Mandrell. You know, if it was for me respecting my elders, I might have to tell him something. If it wasn't for me respecting my elders, I might have to tell him something. All right, let's bring everybody in, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we'll start with the ladies first. Y'all know who they are. Let's give it up first for your girl. What you gonna do when Shoo Shoo comes for you, ladies and gentlemen? Shoo Shoo's in the building. Yeah. Hey, man, listen here. This lady that I'm about to bring up right now, she will speak directly to you, make it sound so sweet. 2 days later, you will know she was not doing it. She was not doing it for your worst interest, but she's doing it for your best interest. This woman will speak life into you, and it'll carry on for the rest of your life. She's loving, but at the end of the day, she's candid. Candid Ann is in the motherfucking building tonight. Give it up for Candid Ann. Good to see you, Sugar. Good to see you. Oh, she's zooming out so we can see what she's all about. Bars. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and bring up the man of the hour. All right, y'all call him Momo. Y'all may call him JoJo, but in the ladies' realm, he's known as Dusto. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for yours truly. Dusto is in the building tonight. Yeah, good to see you, man. All right. Hey, listen, guys, this man right here has so much knowledge. I want to bring him in just like this with the music dropping just for him. All right, his name is Bennett. He ain't in it, but he ain't seen it. Give it up for my boy, Mr. Bennett, in the building tonight. Yes, sir. It's so good to see you. Good to see you, man. All right. All right, now listen, we got one guy in the building right now. He's old, but he's still young a little bit. All right, he's doing well. He calls as hell, and you guys know this little short fella as Mandrell. Give it up. Hey, no captivity. I see you in the chat, brother. Good to see you, my guy. Hey, listen, man. This guy came through the other week, and this guy he said something that stuck with the ladies. He said, I don't care. My last name will add value to your life. He said, I'm not weird. I take care of myself and I comb my beard. Let's give it up for my guy, Hink 75 in the building tonight. Yeah, Mr. Leave Him at the Restaurant. We got to get a song. We're going to make a song called Leave Him at the Restaurant. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all don't be scared. This boy gives more wisdom and he got a bald head. Let's give it up for my guy, Bernard S. is in the building tonight. Ain't nobody got it like Bernard. It's good to see you, my guy. Good to see you. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, he gonna snap his fingers and everything that's stupid is not gonna exist no more. Let's give it up for the only, the one and the only, the theory himself. Thanos is in the building tonight. Yeah, man, it's so good to see you guys. Hey, y'all loosen up to the music. Loosen up. I need to see. I know Mandrell ain't gonna loosen up. This how Mandrell loosen up everybody. But everybody else loosen up a little bit. We're about to get started. Look at
I am loose.
Oh, Paul.
Hey, Black man, I can't keep letting you take shots at family, baby.
You know what? You know, I apologize. I apologize because I know that
you have them right beside each other tonight. That might be a ooh. They're gonna tag team.
You know what? I'm gonna change some things up.
Oh, okay.
I know that's right.
Let me stop the music because I know my boy Hink got something he needs to say. Hink, you want to speak to anybody in particular on the panel tonight?
Well, first things first, I want to speak to Shoo Shoo.
Okay.
Good evening.
Let the stripping begin.
Yeah, hold on just a second. Let me get you on the solo screen. Go ahead, Doc. Say your thing.
I just want to say good evening to Shoo Shoo. She's the most important thing on the screen right now.
Hey!
You better get it, Hank. You better get it.
I got
If
no
you
choice,
think
but,
you're lonely now, wait until tonight, girl. Yeah.
We're talking about the Bobby Womack version. We ain't talking about the old JoJo version.
Yeah, when it's cold outside, girl, who are you holding? Let's get it.
No, that's right.
It.
Hey, there'll be some cold New York winters up there, I'm sure.
I know that's right. Yeah, boy, hey,
that.
she get under that beard. She get under that beard and get warm under that beard. Boy, that beard caused some hibernation. Come on now.
I got plenty of insulation and a lot of love.
Y'all done made Mandrell cut off his camera.
Oh, brother Law, come on back, baby. We all adults here.
Hey man, so listen, guys. Thank you guys for being here tonight on the panel. Hey, I want to ask, I got to get everybody's mental state. Where y'all at? How y'all been doing? What's going on in your life? We'll start the ladies first. Shushu, talk. I know she's still. You know what? I'm gonna lay Shushu for last because she's still trying to get that. How he spoke to her. She's trying to shake back. So, Candid Ann, how are you feeling tonight, Shug?
I'm okay. I'm okay. Yeah, I'm all right.
Good. I saw you in the gym getting it in.
Got to get it in.
I saw you
shooting, lifting them weights.
Shit, I started playing the Rocky music in the car when I saw it. I said, look at her.
Yeah, Black Girls Lift. Black Girls Lift.
And I know that's right. I saw you. I said, what, Candid Ann ain't no push over?
That's squat machine.
Candid Ann bringing the storm.
Black girls don't lift. That's a myth.
It's
the black woman is
my religion. Let me wait until later.
A single black woman a single black woman of marrying age in the gym.
Hey, come on, Mandrell, we got to celebrate the ones that do go.
Yeah,
all six of them.
We got to celebrate.
Something with the other ones all the time.
He said all 6 of them.
Yeah.
Man,
nationwide, Hank. All 6 of them.
Man, nationwide.
Damn, everybody nationwide is
on your side.
Hey, there we go.
All 6 of them.
Terrible.
Hey, so listen, man.
Cold-blooded too.
Man, I appreciate you guys for being here tonight. So we'll start with Shushu. How you been, Shug? Tell us about your day, what you been up to since the last time we saw you. Go ahead.
I am wonderful. I'm blessed. I'm here. I'm grateful for that. And yeah, it's just everything is everything. I'm excited. I'm gonna be home this weekend. I'm getting married, so I haven't been home since last year September. So I'm excited.
You say Mandrell getting married? Whoa!
No, not this time. Not this time.
Oh, not this time. Okay. Damn, I was gonna say Mandrell ain't told his boy nothing. All right. So, hey, thank you. Hey, it's only proper to bring up Hank. Hank, how have you been doing, sir?
Man, today's been a beautiful day, man. Good weather in the 502 area code where I'm at, man. So I can't complain, brother. Good to see us black people here all in one in some type of unity other than Mandrell talking about the sisters. All 6 of them going to the gym.
Damn, man. Poor Mandrell, man. Damn.
Other than that, man, it's all good, brother. It's all good, man. Black men, protect yourself at all times.
Yeah. And if you get on a date and she acting weird or doing some things you don't like, what do you do, Hank? What do you tell her? What do you do?
You walk straight out that front door. Don't even look back.
And leave them where?
Leave them at that restaurant, baby.
Leave them at the restaurant. Hey! All right, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Bennett, how you been, sir?
I have been well. I had a very relaxing Father's Day where I didn't have to do nothing. And my daughters, they gifted me with some nice gifts. One of them I'm wearing right now. And they also got me a massage package, deep tissue massage. Brothers, I got to recommend when you get a little bit older, you don't recover the way you used to, get that deep tissue massage. So they blessed me with a package. So I'm going to go and use those coming up. So feeling very good right now.
All right, daughters. Y'all showed out for your pops. All right,
yes,
give it up, Mr. Bennett.
Did they give you a Boston Celtic runner-up jersey, a shirt or something?
Nah. That's going to stay hung up until September. I'll bring it out again.
I know.
Let the team from San Francisco have their day, have their time.
All right, let's get Dusto in here. Dusto, man, come on, tell us about your day, man. How you been, bro? How everything been going with you?
No, all is well today, but over the weekend, the Duster Sphere has been on fire. You ever step in the Duster Sphere, bring a bulletproof vest, a gas mask, and a vacuum cleaner. It's real out there in the streets. I'm just trying to tell you.
That's a hell of a combination. All right. Thank you, Dusto. All right, let's get him in here. Mandrell, how you been, brother?
Fine.
Let me get his ass out here. Candid Ann. Look at the lovely. Ooh, she raised that eyebrow. She ain't bullshitting. Go ahead, Candid Ann. How you been, Sugarfoot?
I've been doing well. I had a little death in the family or whatever, but we getting through it.
It's good to see that you're, prayers out to you and your fam.
Thank you.
Definitely.
And thoughts to you and your family. So I know we play a lot, but we love you.
Absolutely. I feel that. Thank you.
Absolutely. So thank you for being here tonight.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's bring up, let's see here. We got Bernard. Bernard, what's going on, Bernard?
Nothing, man. Under school and math that we're not gonna use. That's about it. Oh
I
my
understand.
God.
I understand, brother. All right. Let me go ahead and get let's see here. Let me who we got left? Thanos.
Yes, sir. Yep. Hey, I just drove 11 hours from Atlanta to be back just to be on the show, man, to support you. And man, protect your jewels, utilize your stones. You have a great life that way.
Damn, these boys dropping jewels already.
That's it.
My God, let me bring everybody back up here. Jesus Christ.
Except if they kidney stones.
Oh. So guys, you know, there's a lot been going on lately. I'm a researcher, and so I like to dib and dab in a lot of different things. You know, I follow the words of my grandfather. When people say you think you know everything, that's not what it is. I know a little about a lot and a lot about a little. And so I try to read a lot. I try to, you know, research a lot. And I saw this article about Elvis, and they got this new movie coming out with Elvis, about Elvis Presley. Elvis Presley was a huge, everybody know he's an icon, right?
Yep.
Was it before or after he fed himself to death?
Well, you know what though? When he fatted himself to death, he made more money as a fat man than he did as a skinny man.
He did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he sold out every. Yeah, he has the Guinness World Record for the only artist to have ever sold out every arena he performed in from his prime and into his 20s into his 40s. More than even Michael Jackson. Ain't that crazy?
He died on a piece of duel.
Yep.
How embarrassing is that?
Died on the toilet with a sandwich on the tub. So listen. But what I wanted to talk about, he was on a lot of drugs too. Them drugs really got him. But
stealing black folks' music. That's what did it.
Hey, come on! I was getting to that. You took it right out of my mouth. So
stealing black folks' music. That's what he was doing.
Ladies and gentlemen,
got him.
Just walking through the door for your viewing pleasure. Give it up for yours truly, the Book of Genesis. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take these ladies and I'm going to place them up top. Is that okay with you? Is it okay if I pull you away from the row where Shushu is? Is that okay?
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
All right.
So I like it when the men are on the top, though.
Oh my
God! Keep it clean. Keep it clean.
Let me stop. I've been cutting up already.
Already early. Whoa!
Being candid.
Is she being candid? Yeah, you're
growing around here, baby. We growing around here.
I know that's right. Come on,
fully
grown.
Yeah, baby.
Just being silly.
So, man. So anyway, I was looking at when Elvis got married to Priscilla. Does anybody know how old Priscilla was when they got married?
She was 14.
14.
How old was Elvis? How old was Elvis?
I'm a hound dog.
Well, he was like
early 20s, 21.
Yeah,
20, 21, something like that.
All right. Ooh. Do we ever hear anything about that in the news?
Pervitron.
Well, we know that. I think everybody knows.
That's not important.
Not then.
No, I'm saying does it hurt his legacy now though, like years later?
It's supposed to, but according to
Elvis is irrelevant. Elvis is irrelevant.
No. Their love story has been romanticized, so therefore people completely ignore the fact that she was still a teenager when they got married, and he was a full-grown man. So
I used to like Charlie Chaplin until I found out he married 3 underage women.
And guess what? You said Elvis is irrelevant. The Elvis, his house, his properties, everything that they open up to the public, he averages between $60-65 million a year in revenue.
Yeah, but it's in the hood,
right? Yeah,
it's in the hood. Yeah, Graceland is in the hood, the real Section 8.
I passed through it. But what I'm saying is that house is in the hood that's next to Section 8 is producing that kind of money a year.
Yeah.
They got his airplanes. You can go get a step on his planes he rode on. You can go get in his Cadillacs. You can go get on his motorcycle. Everything that he's ever worn, just everything's in that house, behind that house, on properties behind the house, whatever. So the reason I asked that question, I wanted to ask you guys, how do you guys, because this is going to bring up the topic for tonight, the art versus the artist. I just want to dive right into it. Guys, how do you feel about the relationship between Elvis and a 21-year-old Elvis and a 14-year-old Priscilla? We'll start with you, Shushu.
I think it's ridiculous. She's still a child. She was a little girl. But I mean, her parents didn't care because Elvis was who he was. He was famous. He was a celebrity at the time, and they knew he made a lot of money, and so she would be well off. So yeah, fine, have my daughter.
So basically,
good too. So yeah, have my daughter.
So the conclusion that we're coming to right now, I'm going somewhere with this. So the conclusion is that the parents fed their underage daughter to Elvis.
Yeah. Because if he wasn't nobody, then you better believe they would have had a problem with it.
Okay. Yeah.
Being as old as he was. So yeah, they would have had a problem with it. But being that he was, a celebrity, he was a famous singer, he had money. Yeah, go ahead, have my daughter.
Yeah. Because Elvis would definitely a little less conversation, a little more action, please. And I think he meant that. But anyway, how do you feel about it, Genesis?
No, it's a whole no for me.
Mm-hmm.
He was a pedophile. I don't care how they romanticize it.
Hey, you better watch that. You better not talk about the king like that.
Listen, the king has some issues.
But I talk about the king like that. You hear me, Genesis?
Listen here, Genesis. That's my wife.
Look here, mama.
Yeah, listen here, mama.
Hey, black man, you want to see me do some karate?
Listen here. But yeah, I heard a song that he did.
Don't make me use my stuff on you, baby.
He made a song about a woman. He said, she walks like a woman. She talks like a woman. She lives like a woman. He said, but I got wise. She was a devil in disguise. So, Candid Ann, what do you think about the king?
I don't really think about these white people and their crazy shit.
I know that's right.
But what I will tell you that's interesting about it is that my parents are 7 years apart also. Between 7 and 14. They weren't that young, but they're exactly 7 years apart. So it makes me think like, wow, damn, like, is it really that bad? I mean, her being 14 is extremely young, and my mom wasn't 14, but it's still 7 years.
Oh, he was 24.
I think it matters that, your parents were older.
Yeah, they were.
If you're 30 and somebody's 37, a 7-year difference is different than a 14-year-old. And he said 24. So a 14 and a 24, that's 10 years difference. Nah.
Okay, I'm going somewhere with this. That's my next segment there. Mr. Bennett, your thoughts, sir?
Wow. Well, just to be accurate from what I'm seeing here, he met her at 14. They didn't get married until 8 years later when she was 22. But the fact that they had a relationship at that time, all those years, or he waited until it was quote unquote legal for her to do so. Yeah, I got 3 daughters. I would have an issue with that. But having said that, for those times, and you go back earlier times when my mom's generation was getting married at 16 or under 17, or it was legal, you could get married if your parents signed off on it. So you could be. I knew someone when I was in high school. She got married at 15, and that was legal in the state of New Jersey if the parents signed off and approved it. You could do that. So I think we're trying to use 2022 standards on relationships back in certainly my parents and certainly my grandparents' time. As soon as you had your period, or as soon as you became of that age, you were a woman at that point in time. So at what point do we want to start judging people from earlier generations when that was a natural age? Or they even talk about Mary, the mother of Jesus, may have been 14 years old at the time she married Joseph. So again, what standards do we want to go by when we judge? Well, that's indecent and improper. In 2022, yeah, it may be improper, but you got countries now around the world where that age is legal to get married in. So I don't know if I'm in a position to judge to say, oh, well, that's terrible. It wouldn't happen in my house, and I wouldn't certainly encourage my daughters to do that. But I don't think I don't have what authority do I have to say of someone in another country or another culture to say, oh, well, that's immoral for your 14-year-old or under 18-year-old to get married. I don't know what the legal marriage age is supposed to be for a woman. I don't know if I can answer that.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Bennett. We going there. Hey, Thanos, go ahead.
Mr. Bennett, pretty much spot on what I was going to say. Back then, my great grandmother was 13 when she got married.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of her sisters and brothers, they all married early and were like 12 years or more older than their wives. So, back then, I guess it was based off if you could take care of them, they really wasn't pushing women out into the workforce. The whole thing was to, find a husband and, let somebody make an honest woman out of you, quote unquote. And so, that's my take on it. Yeah, like I can't look at it from this terms because it was back then. So yeah, of course, these times it would be different, but the parents was signed off on it. Hey, who am I to tell somebody how they raise their kid?
Right. Bernard.
Being that I have a daughter, I think about how she was acting at the age of 14, and it'd be a hell no for me. And somebody'd be bailing me out. That's all I get.
Somebody got some background noise. It's like some cartoons or something. Hank, what you got for me, Doc?
Man, nothing about that bullshit's okay, man. That's some sick shit. I can't roll with that. Damn. No, hell no.
All right.
Sick.
Dusto?
I think he should share a jail cell with probably Bruno, Big Duke, Bubba, and the Romanian Butt Busters, all in one jail cell together.
All right. And Mandrell, what's your thoughts on it?
My thoughts, listen, I'm sick and tired of y'all talking about the cane like that. Okay. It's wrong for everybody else, but it ain't nothing wrong for the cane.
Man, fuck Elvis.
Except having a relationship with a 14-year-old. That's fucked up. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I don't care who you are. You go after children, I got a problem with that. A serious problem. I don't care what time. I understand that time period and all this, that, and the other, but understand Elvis was a wealthy man. I mean, they were pushing their daughter off on him, because it was Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll. That's why. I mean, the guy had money, status, visibility, clout. He even met with the president, Nixon, and tried to show him some karate and tried to be tried to become an FBI agent. He was crazy too. So he did. That's a true story, Mr. Billy. Yeah, you know about it. Yeah, so that's why you're laughing, because it was silly. He went to the president trying to be an FBI agent. I mean,
he did. He's a little picture in the Oval Office with that.
Right.
Yeah.
So, bottom line, it's disgusting, and may he burn in 7 hells.
All right. Now, I do want to ask, Dusto already said it. So my next question would be, can we separate the art from the artist?
Yes.
And I'll start with Dusto, and we'll go back up. Can we separate? Can we separate the art from the artist? So knowing this, what we know about the king, is it still okay to listen to a little Jailhouse Rock?
We're going to snake order, Mandrell. Snake order. But yeah.
Go ahead, Dusto. Go ahead.
You just talk, bro. And you're ugly. Come on now. I say yeah, because music is music, and to be honest, across the industry, there's some drugged out, sick, psychopathic pervs. That's who's making music. Mm-hmm. That's white, that's black, that's Middle Eastern, that's all of them. They're pretty wacky. And if you talk to some people who know some people who worked or done anything in Hollywood, it's pretty wicked.
Absolutely.
A lot of them rumors, and it's some funny stuff going on.
But they pick and choose who they want to suffer behind it, though. But we'll get into that as well. Mandrell.
This guy.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I just wanted.
Okay, I'm here.
I just wanted my auntie to say something.
What's up, man? What you need? What can I help you with?
Okay.
Can we separate the art from the artist?
The art from the artist, sir.
Anyone who says yes, I'll give Scam Likely a pass because he doesn't know any better. But all the rest of you need to be hung by the nuts, okay? And if you're a woman, you should be hung by your toes and skinned alive, and I'll feed you to bears. No, you cannot. I've had this debate with people who like R. Kelly. I can separate the art from the artist.
No,
Fuck
we'll talk.
you.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. Hank, go ahead.
Now hold up. I'm back
you
on.
got
I'm
that
back on
CD under your
Elvis.
bed, and you know it.
No, we're gonna get to that though. That's coming up. That's
I know. I'm sticking with Elvis. Sticking with Elvis.
Uh-huh.
No, I cannot.
All right, Hank. Is it okay to still talk about the blue suede shoes?
The blue suede shoes. Huh, mama?
You muted.
Hey, you're muted, brother.
You muted. You muted, Hank.
Hank, you muted, brother. There you go. Hank a hound dog.
True Elvis, man. I can't separate nothing, man. You know, he don't like black people. He robbed us of music. He's out here taking advantage of young girls. Nah, I'm good.
All right, Bernard.
No, I can't. It's hard to separate. I'm not even at liberty to say stuff from people I know that's in the industry that while they left the industry. So yeah, no, I can't separate it because I know too much.
Thanos. You muted. You
muted. Everybody remember to unmute yourself.
Man, I tell you that cocaine's
as for Elvis, I'm not a fan, but in general, yeah, I definitely think you can separate artists from the arts. We will probably have to lose 3/4 of most of the arts out there if we found out what most people were doing.
Absolutely,
so it's a slippery slope.
Yeah, Thanos, we're gonna come
Mr. Bennett
tonight, Thanos.
Short answer, I would say yes, but I think a lot of it would have to depend on what it was. What was the offense? Was it the molestation or murder of innocent people? Was it tax evasion? Was it something? I mean, this is something that I think the country is dealing with on a massive scale in terms of how do we view historical figures. We had this thing after George Floyd. You had that that movement to remove all the Confederate generals. All these statues or rename buildings after certain people. And then that opened up a whole can of worms because it said, well, look, if you're going to remove, Jefferson Davis or whatever, then what about George Washington? You can go into any person and find some junk on anybody that you want to. And so at what time, and even some of our leaders, MLK, pick your leader, you're going to find some things that are unflattering about them in terms of their dalliances or what have you. So, I think if we want to, keep, some of these people respect what they did, I think there has to be a separation. But I think a lot of it really depends on what they did. I think the R. Kelly one, I think that's a very severe case. Certainly for anyone to still want to support after that. And that's really, I think, what we're talking about. Because even in that case, if you were a kid and you heard I Believe I Can Fly for the first time and what that did for you in that time, and that was your song for all those years, I can't see how that can be just taken away from you or what that made you feel like in the moment that song was out and how it inspired and motivated you. You can say, look, I no longer support it, but that doesn't take away the memories of what that song or what that artist or athlete or whatever contributed to your life. So I think, how we look at it, I think that our issue is we pedestalize people and then we want to bury them 6 feet under us. There's this big swing between, traditional and the romanticism and then quote unquote woke culture that wants to just bury everything. Oh, we found out about this person, let's just bury him. And I think that's a conversation I think everybody in the nation is having, but this is what we built. We built a fantasy about America. We built a fantasy about, our founding fathers and these figures that have been so inspirational. Then we find out all this stuff. And then, now the conversation, well, how do we go from here? So it's across the board. But in short, yes, I think you do. But again, I think there's a limit. When you get to the most heinous of offenders, then I can't see how or why would you still want to support, at least patronize their product. And because that's really what this is about. You talk about the Elvis estate. Why would you go to, if that bothers you so much, why would you go to Elvis's estate and contribute to that $60-something million that he is making every year?
His daughter.
So we're talking about really, can someone continue to patronize someone, knowing what you know about the individual? I think, I think there's levels to this, but in the most heinous of cases, I can't see how someone could do that.
All right, Candid Ann.
Yeah, I 100% agree with Mr. Bennett. I want to say yes. I want to say yes, I can separate the two. rather, let me back that up. I want to say no, right? That I stand firm in my belief that these people are horrible. But truthfully, when I think about Blue Suede Shoes, I don't think about, like, did he even write that? He just sang the song. Right? He didn't even write it. We know that he took a lot of this music away from other people. And when I think about my love, my Michael Jackson, that's a hard pill to swallow for me, because I grew up with all of this music and all these allegations. Were they real? Were they not real? I want to say that, I want to support the people that were done wrong, but I don't think about those things when I'm thinking about this music. It's completely different. And when I think about your Bill Cosby's one of the thumbnails on here, I grew up with the Cosby Show. I do not think about any of these allegations when I look at Theo, Vanessa, and all these other characters. When I think about Rudy and, baby, and all that, I don't think about all of that stuff. I don't.
And what it could did to improve the image of Black people, what that show meant to us at the time. That elevated Black people across the country. So
when I finally got to see a Black family, the mom was a lawyer, the dad was a doctor. They loved each other. It was fun. They went through things. I don't think about all these allegations now at this age, So on principle, of course, I don't want to. I want to stand, like, I believe the women or whatever, whether they're real or not, I don't know. I want to stand up. I stand up for that, but I don't think about it. When I'm at the barbecue and R. Kelly's saying slide, I'm sliding. I'm not thinking about all that stuff, unfortunately. And it's upsetting, because I know that oftentimes, what I'm going to say here during this broadcast, it's not going to be consistent, because I know there are times where there's certain manufacturers that do things, and I'm like, I'm not buying from them anymore. They don't support Black people. They don't do this. They don't do that. And so therefore, I'm inconsistent. I got to be real. I'm inconsistent with it. And there are other times where I'm like, I'm wishy-washy with it. I got to admit, it's just, unfortunately for me, sometimes I just don't think about it because I grew up with it and the history, it's implanted into me. It's what I grew up with and I love it. And there's other times where I'm like, once I'm made aware of it, I'm an older adult now, and if Gucci doesn't want me at their store, I'm not buying anything from them anymore. If that's how they act towards us, I ain't buying nothing from them anymore. Well, not that I've ever purchased anything from Gucci, but I'm just saying. So yeah,
right,
it's a hard pill to swallow. It's a great question, a great topic, and it's a difficult pill to swallow.
Yep. Book of Genesis, what do you think?
I can't separate. That's one of the topics that I feel strongly about. And for me, I just can't get past it. Even though I'm not personally affected by it because I have strong feelings about it or a bias, then my bias prevents me from supporting.
Absolutely. Shoo.
So you say you cannot separate it, Genesis?
Nope.
Good woman.
Shoo.
Absolutely fantastic.
Well, it's like Maya Angelou said, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but they will never forget how you made them feel.
Yeah.
All of these artists made people feel good.
There you go.
And they inspired them in some kind of way. So when you hear these negative things or these negative parts of their lives, it is hard to separate the two. It is hard. I hate that R. Kelly did what he did, but I still, like Candy said, with Step in the Name of Love, come on, I'm out there stepping. You know what I mean?
When I see Piss, I moved. You saw Piss, you stood in the way. Now I come up with R. Kelly album because you stood in the way. Come on now, Mandrell.
Like, it's difficult. Because I mean, the bottom line is, like, the effect that they've had on people is stronger than what they have done in their personal lives. And it's sad, but yeah, nah. And here's a caveat too. You can stop supporting their music, but many of them had their hands in different pots. Like R. Kelly wrote for so many different artists. So if
don't steal me. Don't steal my
you gotta stop supporting a lot of artists.
Yeah.
If you stop supporting Bill Cosby, you gotta stop supporting a lot of comedians.
Yes, come on.
Because
Come
he
on.
was executive producer on
Come
a
on.
lot of shows. So if you're gonna talk about cancel culture or canceling them, you're gonna have to cancel a lot of things you love.
Hold on. Let me excuse you. Let me jump on that wagon with you and head to town. If you're gonna stop listening to R. Kelly, you gotta stop listening to Omarion. For the younger people, Omarion, B2K. Let's get a little older. You gotta stop listening to Celine Dion. Celine Dion. You gotta stop listening to Michael Jackson. He wrote "Stranger in Moscow." You gotta stop listening to all these. He wrote for Black,
Whitney
White.
Houston. That last album she did, he wrote that whole album. You're gonna have to stop listening to Whitney.
If you're gonna stop
listening to a lot of people.
If you're gonna stop listening to, if you're gonna not support R. Kelly at all, probably 90% of your damn music catalog will have to be thrown in the trash.
Pause.
And why do you think a lot of the music artists did not speak up?
Right, because
especially when people talk about stop listening to his music. Oh, because that means if you pull R. Kelly's music, anything he did, you're gonna have to pull a lot of their music.
Right, and if you walk into a clothing store and you hear, "Girl, you wanna come to my hotel, baby? I'll give you my room key."
Okay.
Right? With Chingy's still making money off of that song.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say this real quick. First of all, I don't listen to any of that shit.
That was Cassidy, I thought.
Wait.
Oh, no, Cassidy, you're right. There you go.
Second,
Yeah.
all of you say you cannot separate the artist from the music. They say that you can do it.
Yeah,
I can separate it. You all disgust me from the bottom of my heart.
but the funny thing about it,
You
people
all
don't
disgust me.
research the artists they do listen to, even some.
I don't listen to that shit either.
Okay, hold on. Mandrell, you went into military, right?
Yeah,
and you fought for your country.
I did.
That was founded by the forefathers.
Allegedly.
No. But this was in the books. So founded by the forefathers, is that correct?
Allegedly.
All right. If you go and look at a big old mountain, they got all their faces carved in the mountain. Is that correct?
Well, that's Mount Rushmore. It's only four.
It's only four of them, right? Only four.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you this. You went fought for a country that wrote a constitution that said you were 3/5 a human. You also spend money with the faces of men that own slaves. You also spend money with a man named Jefferson on it. And Jefferson had a black woman a black girl that was 12, 13 years old in his basement, having sex with her unprotected, getting her pregnant, raping her every day. She had up to 12, 13 kids for this man. You fought for a country that represents the same thing you just said you won't listen to R. Kelly for, but you held a gun for the same country.
First of all,
come on, what are we talking about?
Here's my answer. First of all of that is alleged. No one knows that she was raping her every night. No one knows she was raping her every night. Okay.
Blissful ignorance.
Here's the thing. Also, I was not carrying that weapon on the battlefield, putting foot to ass for my country.
Law done went white Negro on me.
Yeah. And as far as spending money, I don't use U.S. currency. I use a card. Okay, my shit's digitized. I don't touch that white man's money. Okay. Now, okay. All right.
We're about to head there anyway.
Hey, so I use a card, bro. I don't touch the white man's currency.
Okay.
Anyway, also,
go ahead.
I put foot to ass to protect the people I care about. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't for. You can ask any soldier. That whole patriotism
but you are a
thing,
representation.
It doesn't last long.
Listen, Mandrell, you are a representation.
It doesn't last long.
But you are
basic training for most of us was like
Mandrell. When you went out to the battlefield, could you wear Mandrell? When you went out to the battlefield, could you wear flip flops, a polo shirt, and some Hawaiian shorts?
Actually, you could. Yeah.
No, you had to wear a uniform that represented a country that's built. Hold on, that's built on the back of people that was enslaved, little girls. That let me tell you something.
All of that is alleged. There's no proof to
No. There is proof. And let me tell you something. We have my daughter came home with a project. She had to do Christopher Columbus. And when she walked in the door, she had a smile on her face. She walked in, she said, "Daddy." I said, "What, baby?" She said, "I got a project to do." I said, "Why are you smiling so hard?" She said, "Because I know you're gonna want to be a part of it." I said, "What is it?" She said, "They want me to do a project on Christopher Columbus." I said, "Oh, we're gonna be up all night." Right. So I sat down with her and I showed her all the stuff, and the Smithsonian has his journal and all this other stuff. Christopher Columbus, guys, if you want to read it, I know some people can't stomach it, but Christopher Columbus said something that was so horrifying. He said that they got the little girls that were between the ages, he said ripe. ages of 11 and 12. He would sell those girls to other men. And he said those girls, you would have to buy them in bulk, because when you have sex with them at that age, they would die.
By the dozen.
That's
what that and when you get inbred children, you know, the ill-informed ones. That's where the phrase "cheaper by the dozen" came in, because they really were cheap. It really was cheaper to buy them by the dozen.
And he talked about
that's
how
where the phrase "cheaper by the dozen" comes from.
He talked about how he did. He talked about how they sold the girls, and the girls would die.
Right. So what's this mass murderer and sex trafficking have to do with America? He didn't discover it.
Yeah, hold on. He didn't discover. I agree with you. What I'm saying to you is, this is the man. When my daughter goes to school, they're teaching this man in school.
Right.
And it's still a federal holiday.
Which I've never acknowledged.
And he deleted more people than cancer.
No, he didn't.
Come on. Back in that time, he did. Come on now.
Oh no, he didn't.
Oh my God.
Listen
to me. This man, from 12-year-old girls, 11-year-old girls,
it's disgusting. I'm with you. And he should be listen. And he should be hung by the balls upside down and skinned alive.
Right.
I agree.
Country is the country that you put on a uniform for. It was built off of sex trafficking.
This is a completely different country from that one back then.
Excuse me?
It is. It's a completely different country than it was back then. No one can do that and get away with it and get caught. Okay, no one can get caught doing that and get away with it today.
He said it was good first and went bad in the middle.
He ain't doing. Listen. This country was built on the backs of slaves. It was
better over time.
They built the country. The women got just slaughtered. Right? They got just whatever.
Where did you get this? What cite your sources? Where did you get this information?
Cite my sources. Let's see.
You can get enough for talking about your. This is your country. You live here too. Don't you love America?
Yeah. Who?
You don't you love America?
Like my mother. My mother said,
"This is the only country you get to come here and do this kind of shit."
Me and my mother had a problem one time. My mama said, "Hey, I think you should. Since I took care of you, this one she didn't know no better. I thought she had something going on. Since I took care of you, I think you should take care of me." I said, "Well, Mama, I got a wife and I got children. I got my own family." I said, "But I will tell you this, Mother. I didn't ask to be here. You and Daddy made that decision." So you took care of me, and that was your responsibility. The guilt is not mine to take care of you.
Right.
And so I'm saying the same thing about the situation. I didn't ask to be here.
None of that was my and all the stuff you're talking about, the alleged crimes against humanity.
I
wasn't even there for that. So I'm not held responsible for it.
So you sit on the lap of you sit on the lap.
I'm not responsible for any of that.
You sit on the lap of the white man and stroke his testicles.
I don't sit on the lap of the white man.
Because what's happening? Because listen, if you go to Washington D.C., I had an opportunity, and I was one of those foolish black men too. And I went to Washington D.C. I'm taking pictures. I say, look at the Lincoln Memorial.
You didn't even know what you was taking pictures of.
Hold on, and something said, "Fool, look." And I start reading the wall. I said, I know damn well. It said, "I do not choose to release the slaves." I do not choose to have them to be free.
Right.
But I will free them for a limited time to fight the war.
Yes.
But when that war is over, I'll make laws to make the black people believe
they'll be free. Right back in bondage.
But when it's over, we'll create so many bad ways for them, they'll come right back to their masters.
Yep. That's what he said.
But guess what?
Did he do that? No, because that wasn't in the history books. We don't read about that in history, so it couldn't have happened.
But guess what? Abraham Lincoln, guess what? He's considered this the Emancipation Proclamation.
The great emancipator.
The great emancipator. No. He didn't want black people to be free at all.
What he wanted, what he did is two different things. He didn't want to free us, but he did. Make him the great emancipator. That was a great Republican president.
Let's get deep.
President.
Hold on, let's get
deep. He got smoked by a white man.
Right, Industrial. I can't even
let's get deep. Let's get deeper. Because I want to make sure we understand, people out there in the audience understand this. Abraham Lincoln did the emancipation. He only freed 6 states. He only freed the states that were rebellious toward him, and it was only 6 out of 50. But everybody in school, they teach that he freed all. But he only freed the states that had the rebellion.
I got you. So what's this got to do with me?
No, I ain't say it had to do with you. I'm talking about the men. I'm talking about the men that when you say I pledge let's break it down. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United. Hold on, let's break it down. Hold on, no. You're not going to sing this white. You are not going to sing this white man song too fast.
Amen.
You're not going to sing this white man song too fast without us getting on his ass. Bars. Listen, hold on. I pledge of allegiance to the flag. Whose flag? Whose flag?
Not of allegiance. I pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to a flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag.
Whose flag?
Of the United States of America.
United. So what it should say, I pledge allegiance to the yet to be United States of America.
No, that's not how indoctrination works.
To the white man's republic for which it stands.
That's not how indoctrination
works. One nation under white folks. Divided.
It's under God.
Hey, okay?
One nation under white folks divided.
Under God.
God divided.
God's country. Don't you know that, goddammit?
We gonna talk about it?
No, we can talk about it. This is God's country, goddammit. Okay, God's chicken. Chick-fil-A. You go to Chick-fil-A, don't you? That's God's chicken.
That's the white man's chicken.
This is why we get to do whatever we want to do, because we are God's chosen people.
Hold on. No. I'm not going to let you get off of this white man song. Let's stroke back on what
man. Hold
on. I got one even better for you. Before we move on. I got. You know what? I got one even better for you.
Let's get it.
The one that you stand up for the most. Oh, say.
I don't stand up for that shit. I keep my seat. I read the second and third stanza.
Yeah, right.
I don't stand for that. Yeah, seriously. I read the second. I do keep my seat. I don't stand for that.
Capping like that little hat you got on your head.
No, I do keep my seat when that comes on. I don't stand for that.
You know what? So I know some people out there may know, I may not know. Most of that song, they took the third stanza out because the third stanza said, "There's nowhere you can run and hide from a wet grave, from the sick and what it said, restitute slave." Right. What? We talking about what? So my thing is this country is built on it, and then they hide it. And then guess what? We got people in the military that would do this. Yes, sir, massa. I'm going to war for you. I'm going to shoot for you. I'm going to fight for this country. Now listen. Now I ain't clowning nobody that served in the military. I'm saying
thank you.
I'm not going to clown nobody. What I'm saying is, because a lot of men came out of the military better than they was when they went in, right? I'm not talking about what they learned. I'm talking about the establishment that built it.
It's a job, bro.
It's a job, bro.
I went over there and listen.
So it's music.
No, here's the thing.
Come on, you're right. You're driving right down my highway.
Just work at the post office.
Here's the thing.
So Mandrell, hold on, Mandrell. Can you separate? Hold on. Can you separate George Washington and the military? Can you separate the two, or they have to? Can you separate the two?
We're not the same military.
And say the country will be a great country, but the country is great, but we got to separate George Washington and
we're not the same military. It's a completely different thing now.
Blackity black alert.
It's a completely different thing now.
No, Dusto, I'm serious. This is a serious matter right now, bro. I'm being for real, bro. We can sit up here and talk about how this stuff, the black people. No, this is what is written right now. You can pay for a ticket. Hold on. You can pay for a ticket to go into a museum and see that you're 3/5 of human still on paper.
But
I mean, what are you talking about?
But you talking about the military. You're talking about the military. It's a completely different military now.
Dude, it doesn't matter. Okay, you're right. It's a completely different military. How was it formed? Where did it come from?
What is the military that's still run by people that have people in bondage working like slaves? Even to this day, it's run by the same people.
Come on,
the top 1%, while the whole other 99% out here struggling. It's run by the same people out here who got the inflation up to 8.6%.
Come on,
ain't feeling none of it, while everybody else out here are at their knees. Like, what are you talking about? You're right. It's not the same military.
What happens when the family is at war?
Like that.
Nobody wins when family feuds.
Nobody wins when the family feuds.
So listen.
Let's back up, man.
We can't talk about the beloved white man.
Right. Let's talk about the beloved white man and how the white man
listen.
We're all still slaves.
Hold on.
Don't be having no temper tantrum now.
No allegiance to the white man. Oh, go ahead.
And that's exactly what's happening.
Talk your talk.
And you know what? Half the time, I've almost got into several fights. Is when I've taken my kids somewhere and they play that shit and I don't stand for it. It's some white man will turn around and say, "You stand up." It's one of them did it, and I had to think my children. No wife here. You by yourself. Some break loose children. Think about your babies, because he turned around and said to me, "Hey, boy, you and those boys need to stand up for that anthem." I say, "Sir, turn around before I punch in your face. Don't speak to me. Turn around before I punch in your face." Because I get what you're saying.
I get what you're saying. All right?
Yeah. Go ahead.
And on a serious note, here's the thing. My sister and I's lineage, we have a lineage of thick heritage of Native American blood in our veins, right?
I can see it.
So I mean, so I get it. We're Black and Native American, and there's a little white in there somewhere. So
I can see it.
We have double the reason to hate the white man, but we don't. I mean, do I love America? I do love this country. I mean, it's the most convenient country on the planet. Yeah. I mean, you can't complain about that. Now, where you going with this white stuff? I mean, can you separate George Jefferson from the army? I mean,
George Jefferson.
Yeah.
What the hell? Are you moving on now?
Yeah, right. Wait. And I said that to make a point. I said that to make a point. You asked me about these different presidents. Can we separate these presidents from the current military that we have? You absolutely can, because the current military that we have is a completely different entity and institution than it was back then.
Right.
Completely different thing.
Right.
So that military that he had back then, you couldn't separate it. This is more General Colin Powell's military today than anything else. You know what I'm saying? So, what we had, especially the special forces, you got, I mean, it's a completely different thing. Plus, special forces is a completely different thing all to itself, even within the military. That's something else, dude. You can't wear shorts. I wore shorts in Afghanistan all the time.
And beards.
So go ahead,
and beards and shit. Yeah, we got to do all. If you saw us on the street and we were active in the military, tag. You couldn't tell. You couldn't tell we were military or not, and that was the point. Our job was to blend in. And the reason why I got assigned to 7th group is because their AO was in South America, which is a Spanish. My first name being a Latin name, they was like, "Oh, you look," and plus they like, "You look Dominican." So we'll see you down there anyway. And I was like, what the fuck? I mean,
time out, man.
Just stereotyping me like that. And then, but I went with it.
Taking this conversation all the way into a direction nobody was trying to go.
How do we get to blackity black?
No, I was saying that. I'm making the point. Shamaria, my point is that the military today, you have to separate it from the forefathers, because the military today is something completely different from what they even envisioned or started.
Okay.
Hold on. Shoot, real quick.
It's not the artist.
Hold on, real quick, guys.
Separate from his personal, what the fuck he does in his personal bedroom. Just like I didn't care when who was that got some head in the White House. I don't care. That was not my business. That was not my business. What the president does and what happens in his bedroom has nothing to do with me. Right. So I'm not understanding, if that's how you feel about it, then isn't the artist that's shucking and jiving on the stage completely different than the man that's inside of his bedroom and what he decides to do in his private life?
No, it is not.
How are they separate then? Because these are two, when I go to work, I'm a nurse, right? Gotcha. When I go to the crazy shit I do when I go to the jungle in my bedroom ain't got nothing to do with these patients.
Okay.
Why are they any different?
I can respond to that.
Damn, she said it's a jungle.
No, here's the thing.
Come on, Candy. Tell them the truth.
Here's the thing.
I'm just saying that, that's my profession, right? I'm a nurse.
I get it.
That's your what profession. I do there has nothing to do with what happens in my real life.
It absolutely does. Here's the thing.
Well, if you had sex with your husband at work, your employer will probably have an issue.
Right, but I hear you, but R. Kelly did not have sex at work.
Well, here's the thing with R. Kelly, okay? We've acknowledged
actually he did.
We've acknowledged the fact the influence that this man's music has had, the reach that it has, even though this guy's never going to make music again for real.
4 decades.
You know what I'm saying? He's had 4 decades of history of a catalog that he doesn't even own. He doesn't own. He's too stupid to own his masters because he sold it to Aaliyah's mother to keep her mouth shut. But anyway, that's another thing. Here's the thing: if you're a piece of shit, scumbag, child molesting,
I agree.
Here's the thing: I don't care. Listen, it comes to music.
Agree with that.
That's just who he is. I don't give a fuck how good his music is. A piece of shit is a piece of shit.
I agree with
Just
you.
because his music just because his music sounds good, everyone's like, I can separate the music from the artist. Okay, so you're buying this music, which means you're putting your money in the pockets of a pedophile.
Okay, man.
Hold on.
Like I said, you have a heart attack, right? I'm a beast on these fucking compressions. I'll tell you that right now. I'm a beast when it comes to compressions. Are you not gonna allow me to do compressions to save your fucking life just because I like to do some crazy shit in my bedroom? You gonna tell me, oh, you're a freak? I don't want cancer in my bedroom. I don't want to do compressions.
I don't know what you're doing.
What about the fact that suppose you're racist and you're like, I don't want that black bitch doing compressions on me? Are you gonna stop? Right? But I'm saying that, when do we separate our personal feelings? Right?
It's not personal feelings. It's just him as a person. He's a person.
I agree with you. I don't disagree with you. Despicable human beings. We're not disagreeing there.
I get you. This nigga, here's the thing. Why would you listen to his music then? This nigga should be in the electric chair right now.
Mandrell, why would you say the Pledge of Allegiance?
I don't.
I'm saying why would we say the Pledge of Allegiance? Why would we follow? The Constitution? Who's the Constitution?
I had an answer for you. Hold on. I got an answer for your Pledge of Allegiance thing. Okay, and standing up for the Star Spangled Banner and all that. Number one, you're dealing with morons and hillbillies when you hear that, because just because someone sits down or takes a knee at the national anthem doesn't mean they're disrespecting the flag or the troops. None of that bullshit. Okay, these are people who, without context of that person's actions, they just assume, "Oh, you're disrespecting our flag." And let's say he was disrespecting our flag. Let's say he was. Why in the fuck would I be pissed off at you about it when I fought for your right to do just that?
Okay.
So it's not about any of that. You're dealing with dumb hillbillies.
Okay. When you go to Congress and you go to Senate. Don't they reflect some of their decision makings on the Constitution?
No.
To this day?
The Constitution is a scapegoat.
Mandrell, do they still reference the Constitution? Hold on, Scam Likely. Do they still reference the Constitution in decision making in the Senate and the Congress?
They do.
Who wrote the damn Constitution?
R. Kelly.
No. Hey, man, this is for real, dog. Please don't troll me tonight, because this is a serious conversation.
Here's the thing: who wrote the Constitution?
I'm gonna kick your ass out. Listen,
you're right.
I'm trying to be serious about this conversation.
A bunch of mass murderers, rapists, and sycophants.
Right, but we still follow the Constitution written by them. So why don't you go to Why don't you go to Congress and say, remove that piece of shit paper out of the goddamn Library of Congress and throw that shit in the trash? Why are we following something written by slave owner, pedophile ass men? Why?
I'll tell you why. Because we have no choice. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do it, no matter how much you protest. No matter how good. No matter how good of a case you argue for that, Black Man, they are not going to change that, because that's how they get away with shit. You're not going to take their way of getting away with the shit that they do away from them, and they're the people who have real influence and power. Okay, now, in contrast to musicians, artists, things like that, you do have a choice not to buy their music. You do have a choice not to watch their movies. You have a choice in that matter. Comes to Congress and the Constitution, nothing we can do about that.
How many people
we can march and protest all we want to? They're not going to change that.
How many people
let me say this. I bet you they would get rid of that if it affect the alphabet community.
Yep. Come on, Hank. Come on. I was just going to say it. He took it out.
I promise you, they would get rid of it if it was an alphabet community.
Especially if Obama was in.
They don't respect black people.
Exactly.
No, they wouldn't. If it affected the black,
the alphabet community has more power than
not that much power.
Yes,
no, they don't.
Okay.
All the training I had to take and DOD for pronouns and all this extra
and
stuff.
a lot of people can't go. People can talk all the junk they want in the military or at your job right now.
I work from
Don't
home.
bring that up. Don't bring it up.
Right.
I don't give you what from home. Don't bring it up.
I get it. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. You think the alphabet community has that kind of power?
Okay.
That's a sad testament to what's going on
in
Mandrell. Society. They ain't got that kind of power.
Start saying some slurs on YouTube and see if you disappear off the panel.
Here's what it is. YouTube is a privately owned company. They reserve the right to release you for whatever reason they see fit, as long as it's not for racist or
Mandrell, they took the female symbol up off of the Tampax and tampons because it was offensive to some of these transgender people, and they don't even have a vagina to put the shit in.
That's fine. And you know, when I had to go
You're
through
going to
that
start having to register penises in a couple of years.
Let me make this point. You know what I had to, I told people at my last job when they started talking about these pronouns and everything? My boss sitting right there, and there's a colonel, full-bird colonel sitting right over there. Go fuck yourself. If I see a woman, I'm calling him a woman. If I see a man, I'm gonna call him a man. You get pissed off, fuck you.
You say it in private.
And I left the meeting. And I left the meeting.
Listen, Mandrell, I work.
And I left the meeting.
Mandrell,
what happened to me?
Mandrell, I called you today from my job, right? Did I not?
You did.
All right. In my job, I sit in my office all day. Pretty cool gig. Make a lot of money. I'm good, right? I'm sitting there off. They had a meeting. They had a gathering. And in that gathering, they said, listen, guys, we've had a lot of complaints with people that are coming in that are of the alphabet community. And most people are transitioning from woman to man, man to woman.
Good for them.
Hold on. They said, this is the policy that we're putting into place here at this facility. If a man comes in and he wants to be called, if John comes in and he wants to be called Juliet, if you call him anything other than that, we'll ruin you.
Is it a privately owned company?
No, it's public.
It's a public-owned company. It's a public company.
Public. It doesn't matter if it's public, private. It doesn't matter. If you say something, your life will be ruined.
Okay, cool. Fair enough. But here's the thing. That has nothing to do.
That's power.
No.
If somebody knew, if I go say something to Shushu,
I didn't say they
Mandrell would make it where I can't get a job for the rest of my life.
I didn't say that they didn't have power, because some of them are in that community too. That's why they have that kind of power. But if you're talking about changing the Constitution, you don't have that kind of power. You don't.
Hey, they say we would never get to this day where it looked like it looked now.
No.
I remember growing up and how
here's the thing. I'll say this, Thanos. If they, let's say, for the sake of argument, they did lobby and protest and get something in that Constitution changed to benefit them, that's when you need to be afraid. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. Let me finish. Let me finish.
You should have been afraid yesterday.
Here's the thing. If they do whatever they took out of the Constitution, you need to be afraid of what they're replacing it with. Because
you know what they're replacing it with.
Mandrell, there are men right now dressing in bikinis, swimming in championship swimming games with females. There are men that are saying they're women that are in the that are in the octagon, beating busting women's heads wide open. So what I'm saying to you is that we have it where if the alphabet community said, you know what, that damn Constitution does not fit us anymore, we want it changed, I guarantee it. I'm with Hink. I guarantee in 6 months that motherfucker will be gone. I guarantee it will be gone.
My money's on it won't.
It will be. They've changed a whole lot of stuff. Mandrell, right now, there are certain places right now that when you go and use when you go into a place and use the bathroom, especially here in good old Texas, you go into the bathroom shows not just a man up there. It says unisex. Both. So you'll go in the bathroom to pee, and it's a woman that's saying she a man right behind you sitting on the toilet.
Gotcha. But here's my thing.
My little girl, hold on. My little girl can go in the bathroom and use the bathroom. It's a grown man sitting on the toilet next to my little girl using the bathroom. This is where we at.
I get it, but here's my thing. When it comes to let me finish. When it comes to this Constitution, if they take something out of the Constitution, when it comes to that, whatever they take out, or whatever they change, the people behind the veil are going to replace it with something. That's what you need to be afraid of, not the alphabet community. Wait,
what are they going to replace it with?
That's the thing. We don't know.
LeBron James is coming. You already know.
But that's the thing. We don't know. That's what you need to be worried about. Whatever they took out, that's what you need to be worried about. Not this alphabet community.
But you said they don't have no power.
I mean, the point is that they might not be as powerful as that man, but they are a powerful group. Whether we like it or not, whether you agree with it or not, they are a powerful group. That's just where we are. That's where we're at right now. So we can debate back and forth like how powerful, if they can do this or do that. But they have made significant changes that you might not like, changes that you might not agree with, you might disagree with. But these changes are still here, whether we like them or not. And I'm just saying, saying that it is a powerful group. I personally don't care where people use the bathroom, where they defecate or urinate. I don't care, and as far as the Tampax thing or whatever, I don't care. It doesn't really affect me as long as those items are sold. I just made the point to say that they are a powerful enough group where they have that much control over a company in which they can take off a symbol that's been there for many, many, many years, that they are that powerful.
And let me say this to Mandrell. This is for Mandrell. Mandrell, you have a clothing company coming, right? What happens when you open a brick and mortar, free flow clothing company? You open brick and mortar, and somebody, it can be years back. You see what happened to Kevin Hart 5-10 years ago? He said something on Twitter. Anyway, so they say, you know what? I went back and I saw the owner of this company on a platform on YouTube use the F word and call somebody, another guy that. No, hey, alphabet community, shut all his stores down. You'll be bankrupt in a week.
No, because
you will be bankrupt in a week.
I got the power. I got the power of Black America holding me up.
Oh God! Oh God!
Buy my clothes. Y'all will come out to support me.
Black folks don't support blacks at all.
Buy my clothes. Y'all will support my stuff more than Nike. Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's what y'all would be doing.
You gotta get your military veteran brothers to support you because black folks ain't supporting shit.
That's right. That's right. Hey, wait. Watch Shamari and I's broadcast tomorrow night because it's about this. This is gonna be in that too.
Well, okay. You don't want me on that show, bro.
So, I do.
You don't.
So let me say this. Let me say this, guys. Let's pull it back in.
Blackity black, baby.
You gotta come on.
Let's pull it back in.
Absolutely not.
I think like what Mr. Bennett said earlier, when he said that when it comes to separating, I think if we're going to separate, let's take R. Kelly. Let's go ahead and bring him up. If we're going to separate, if we say we can't separate R. Kelly from his music, if we say we're going to be separate, if we can't do that, then we can't do it for anybody. It has to be across the board. We can't pick and choose who we celebrate. Let me give you an example. How many? I was going to ask this earlier. How many have kids? And I know who I know, but for the audience, how many of you guys have children? How many of you have been children? Now watch this. I have a question. How many of you seen the movie Ants? Genesis, Bernard Hink. Okay. And who was the director and the creator of Ants?
I don't know that.
Woody Allen.
R. Kelly.
Oh, okay.
Woody, and watch this. Hold on, watch this, Cam. Woody Allen adopted a 6-year-old Asian girl.
That he did. Keep going.
The day she turned 18, he married her.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going.
Woody Allen still walking around as a free man.
He groomed her.
Chilling.
Still walking around as a free man.
That one was particularly disgusting because that was his stepdaughter.
He adopted his wife.
Yeah, he adopted her, raised her up.
But hold on, but is he in jail?
No.
Didn't a pastor do that?
Huh?
Didn't a black pastor do that somewhere too?
No, I don't know about that. I'm talking about the billion.
Well, I do know that Tyreek came out. Everybody know his last name. He came out like last year. But there's a country over there, Tariq Nasheed. But there's a country. As soon as they born, they claim them as wife.
Betrothals.
All right, I can't make it up.
And right, and so Woody Allen still walking around, right? What's the movie producer's name? What's his name? The one that they just put in jail.
Weinstein. Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, Harvey. Mr. Harvey. Let me tell you how much we love. Oh, Scam, listen. Let me tell you how much we love the white director that don't get in trouble. This is what happened.
Man, I got a question for you when you get a minute. Go ahead.
Yes, absolutely. Oprah Winfrey said, Russell Simmons, we're gonna do a documentary on him. We getting rid of that nigga.
And that's on Harvey Weinstein, though.
We're gonna do a documentary on Michael Jackson. We got to get rid of that nigga. But then, as soon as Harvey Weinstein came, you can hear crickets in the back of the church having sex with mice. You know why? You want to know why you heard crickets? Because the pictures start to surface. You see Oprah Winfrey kissing Harvey Weinstein on the jaw at the awards, right? You seen her lesbian girlfriend, Gail, kissing Harvey Weinstein. All the white men that have these accusations, they at Oprah's house, sitting in her garden, sipping wine.
He done wrote a lot of checks.
Yeah, right. They sipping wine with Oprah. None of them are locked up. They just got Harvey because they was forced to get her. Harvey had to be the sacrifice. But we're not talking. What about Woody? What about all these? Look, they brought up Seinfeld. Seinfeld, Jesus Christ. Seinfeld, the
John
comedian,
Lennon.
was dating a 14-year-old girl when he was 26, 27. And he was public with it, walking around holding this girl's hand. He looked like he just picked her up from middle school. Walking around, taking her to the award ceremonies. Her parents approved of it. And he just walking around with this 14-year-old girl. Jerry Seinfeld is one of the greatest comedians, white comedians of all time, worth almost $1 billion. Ain't never sat one day in jail, never been accused, never got locked up. R. Kelly get 5 accusations, he gone. But the thing, no, hold on. But let me tell you the thing about R. Kelly. His wife said, R. Kelly has always been like this. You were married to him for 20 years. R. Kelly's always been like this. He hog-tied me. He threw me in the closet. He didn't feed me. He starved me. But and right after she did the interview and she was on there, he hog-tied me. After she did that, she got in the car with her new man, and she had the camera on. She went live. So stupid. Went live. Guess what was playing on the radio?
Happy People.
And guess who was singing it?
She
was in the backseat of the car. Happy people, yeah. Said, I know, you know this is my baby daddy song. You know I still love my baby daddy. Same baby daddy. Wait a minute.
Yeah, I remember that.
But you say you traumatized. He hog-tied you and threw you in the back. If you're traumatized, you got PTSD from this man, and you sit in the backseat with your new man singing Happy People and said, that's my baby daddy. Y'all know I still love him. Happy people. Whoa.
Is what he
sounds like Stockholm syndrome to me.
Y'all know I'm from Chicago. I'm from Chicago.
Hold on, this last thing. Life Jennings said he don't even like R. Kelly. Life Jennings said, but I was on the road with that man for many, many, many years. He said, I've seen personally, he even made a song about it, guys. He said, I've seen personally women, mothers, and fathers. He said it's sickening to see men do it to their own daughters. Dress their girls up like they're up age, 21, 22 years old. And they'll push their daughters up. And then when R. Kelly found he done bust them down, knocked them down, Life Jennings said he'll knock them down. And then the mom and daddy said, well, my daughter was 15, my daughter was 16. You need to pay us or we going to the press.
Yeah.
And Life Jennings said he used to watch them manipulate R. Kelly, and R. Kelly managers running, going wiring money, leasing houses out to people, giving people houses because they manipulated them. Yeah. I know. Right now, let me tell you something. My daughter went to prom. She's 18 now. She went to prom when she was 16. My wife took her to go get the whole makeup. You know, I don't do all that makeup shit. They went and did that on their own. I'm out. I told my baby she's naturally beautiful. But anyway, they got her face made up. She come through the door. I said, where my baby at? They said, that's all right there, stop playing. I said, I know damn well. My daughter looked like she had aged 10 years. 10 years. I said, oh, hell no. I said, she go to the prom, she come back. And I told a little boy that was with us, ain't gonna be no fucking tonight. Because bring my baby on back to the house. It put 10 years on my baby. And when you dress up a girl and you doctor a girl up and you put all this makeup on and tight dresses and you know the girls today are built like that damn bulls of the brick shit houses, and they coming out built breasts all out, and you dress them up and you add 10 years to them. Who knows the difference?
That's been like that since the 90s.
It's R. Kelly knew what he was doing. I'm from Chicago. There are 2 particular high schools where he regularly frequented, and he didn't hide. There was a particular restaurant in downtown Chicago where when he was in town, he was frequenting regularly, and he didn't hide. Before it was a news thing, people in Chicago knew. I mean, even after the allegations, and I think that's my issue with it. Like, he thought he was untouchable because even after these allegations and the trial, you still continue your behavior.
You know what I understand?
Years later, the only thing he did was the only thing he changed was make sure that they were 18 years old, or attempt to make sure they were 18 years old. But they could have had a birthday yesterday, and he was with them today.
But you know what I don't understand? The FBI got involved. See, I had to research this stuff. The FBI, I didn't even know the FBI was on R. Kelly's ass. The FBI got involved. They gathered all the evidence in the 90s. They did face recognition on this man in a video. They did all this, and they came to the courts and said, we find nothing at all. Nothing. It's not him in the video. It's not him doing this. It's not him doing that. It's not this. They say, okay, he's innocent of all charges. 25 years later, here we go again. Women coming forward that are crying on interviews, but then talking about book deals on lives. That's what makes me drives me nuts.
Yeah, what got R. Kelly?
What about the ones
Black
that didn't have a voice?
Yeah, R. Kelly. What got R. Kelly?
Didn't have a voice.
Black man. What got R. Kelly, ladies and gentlemen, is the fact that people came out of the woodwork and started singing. Had no one said anything, he'd have been not guilty again. You know what I'm saying? And I had a problem with that trial, even though I think he's guilty of sin. And again, he's another one that should be put out the pasture and put down. But when it comes to the courts, right? But when the courts, with the court system and the way it's set up, it's innocent until proven guilty. Now, I don't care if it's 2,000 people to come out and say Black Man Unfiltered did something. If there's no evidence of it, he didn't do it.
Exactly.
You still got to prove it. I can't just take your word for it. Where's the proof?
Right.
Now, that's a problem I had with that trial and them finding him not guilty. I get the stories and I'm acknowledging them. You might have gone through these things, but you have to prove it.
And
you have to prove it.
Now, Mandrell,
and it just word of mouth ain't it.
Mandrell, you know what? I'm gonna ask Mandrell a question. Mandrell, me and you brothers, my daughter comes up around. I'm in the band. I sing background for R. Kelly. You play bass, guitar for R. Kelly, and we're singing and we're having a good time with R. Kelly, and we find out that R. Kelly has done something to our niece. Knowing our personality, what are we going to do to Kales?
There'll be no more Kellys.
Watch this.
There'll be no more Kellys.
Guess what? Life Jennings said when the accusations came out about the girl, the 15-year-old girl, he said 2 of the women that were background singers, those were her aunts. The uncle played the bass guitar and continued to play for the next 6 or 7 years. Now, if I know a man has touched my niece, you think I'm going to continue to play for him, sing background for him?
I wouldn't have a guitar. I wouldn't have a guitar either because I've been broken across his head.
So somebody please explain to me why these people continue to work for him if they knew or felt like they was messing with their own flesh and blood, their niece, their daughter. Why?
These niggas these niggas got no character.
Why?
Okay.
No, that happened so much when I was growing up. Like the girls in high school dating older dudes, like it's not even no R. Kelly thing.
Right.
That was common all day that the dudes pulled up. You got a car sitting on 20s. I guess back then it was like 18s and 20s was the highest realm.
Yeah.
So like those dudes was coming there all the time. The teachers knew it, the parents knew it. So it's like all these years, even the population didn't have outrage. And I'm not making excuses for them. The whole thing is that it was common almost across the board. Of course, some people, unless it was, you was real strict or something like that, maybe they didn't have it. But like a lot of the girls was dating older dudes, especially like if you was the popular girl in school.
Yeah, I agree. And that's what I'm saying. And then, so my question now would be this for you guys, this for the panel. Anybody can jump in, but I want to hear everybody's perspective. What do we say to the prominent men in history? In the Black culture, what do we say to those men who were 22 years old, who married 14-year-old girls, 12-year-old girls, and were married for 60 years, 65 years, had 3 kids that were successful? Those 3 kids had 8 kids. Those 8 kids had 23 kids, and they came from that 14-year-old girl and that 22-year-old dad. What do we say to those marriages back in the day that were like that? I think I expressed my point on that earlier. I can't. It's hard for me to have any issue with that. If that was the culture at the time, like I said, that was my mom and my grandmother's generation. That's what they did. So again, when you had your first period, you were considered a woman. You came into full maturity at that point. So, and again, the fact that they did have these marriages for that period of time, but now it's crazy because you would have a guy who would be 17 and she'd be 16. But again, in today's culture, he could be arrested or charged with statutory rape for that. Even if you married the girl back then,
it would still, people will still look at that, in a certain way. So again, when it comes to different time periods, different cultural, like I said, and that's happening today. Go to Middle Eastern countries, go to countries around the world. This is happening where girls of that age are getting married. So who are we? What, even if you want to go to a biblical perspective, what can you go to that would say that is immoral or that is wrong? If they're raised in a culture where they're going to be provided for, taken care of, even if they are young, they live with the parents, and that's what we used to do. We used to live with our parents until we were up, got a trade or something where we could go and then take care of, and then we would get our own house. But you have other cultures today where, again, you get married that young, you move into the parents, the husband's parents' house, and you basically grow up there. You learn what it is to be a wife and how to be supportive. You learn how to be a man. You learn your trade, and then you move on and you get started with your life. So again, I have no problem with that. In fact, all this, the whole reason why we all kind of came into this space is talking about the dysfunction in Black culture or our marriages or what have you. But when we talk about these generations from before, so again, how we're going to criticize them? They decided to do it right. They stuck together. They built what we should be building on, and we can't even, stay together as Black men and women. So again, I have nothing to say about those who were able to make that happen. And in a lot of ways, they have a different opinion.
Let me ask a question. Anybody live in Georgia on the panel? Anybody?
I used to live in Georgia.
My parents are from there, so I spent time down there growing up. So that's why I know all this stuff. Because
right, exactly. In Georgia right now, the legal age in Georgia is 17, right? A 17-year-old. Also, I'm reading it right here. At 17 years old, that's the legal age. But if a young girl conceives a child and has a child, she's immediately considered as a woman, no matter what age she had a baby. So if she had a baby at 15 years old, she's considered a woman after that baby. So if that man want to talk to her at 16 years old, 17 years old, he's able to do that. This is in Georgia. This is the South, right? I'm just looking at the list here. One night we went through this list, Mandrell, remember? We went this, and then in other countries, you guys would throw up. 13, 12.
Oh no, I've been there.
14.
I know that.
Hell, 12. I mean, and my grandmother got married when she was 14. My grandfather was 21. My grandmother said, I said, Grandma, why you? I said, oh, Granddad was nasty. She said, baby, he wasn't nasty. He wanted me. I wanted him. We didn't sleep around. I didn't have sex with him until I married him. We got married. She said, at 14 years old, I can do things at 14 years old, my eyes closed, that 14-year-old girls today couldn't even think about.
No, not definitely. Everybody was much older. I mean, by the time you were 18, back again, a generation ago, you were a lot more mature. Now you got 30-year-olds who are still playing Call of Duty and whatnot because they, no one wants to grow up. So again, you can't compare a 21-year-old man today versus a 21-year-old back in the day. It's no comparison.
Yeah, because people keep
I don't let you take shots at my brother-in-law like that. I know.
But people are surprised when they ask me, "Do I play Call of Duty?" I'm like, "No." But you used to do this kind of stuff. Yeah. Why do you think I don't play Call of Duty?
Man, Joe, you
it's
just
fake.
across the board.
I get no sensation out of it. It's like,
go ahead, Scam. Scam and wait. Go ahead, Scam.
My question or my comment is like this. Okay, we live in America. We got some dusto-sick pervasauruses out there. We got, back in the day, some slaves. We got the white man, the black man, and we got all this stuff. Let's just say this Saturday I want to go to the beach in Tampa or in Clearwater.
Yeah.
Hundreds and thousands of people there. How can I enjoy and go get in the water if every time I look at somebody, you look like one of them perv men. You look like you had slaves back in 1586. You know what? I want some McDonald's, but McDonald's had 6 slaves back in 1820. How do you live? Like, it gets to the point where you get consumed with so much stuff that you can't just walk over here and eat a sandwich. Then you find out what happened in 1826. It really wasn't 1820. It was 1829, and it was a black man. And it was like so much stuff. And some of it has to do with something, but at the end of the day, you can't change it no way. Or you could be doing something over here.
I don't want to cut you off. Hold that thought. I want to cut you off. I don't want to bring this up. So everybody knows OG Patrice, right?
No.
OG Patrice, she comes on a lot of platforms, but OG Patrice's great-grandmother, great-great-grandmother, they told her the same thing. Girl, ain't nobody listening to you. Shut your mouth. Hell, that happened a long time ago. All that slave stuff over. She kept telling the family, I wish OG Patrice would come up and tell you. She kept telling the family that land that mall sitting on belonged to me. I don't care. They stole it from me. They took it from me. Y'all need to look into it. Whatever y'all got to do, things are different now. Fine. That is my land. For years, nobody listened to her great-grandmother. Nobody. They just she was old and senile. OG Patrice and her family started doing investigative work, started going looking at file papers, started going look at different stuff. And they found out that it belonged to her. Seriously, not a mall is on a lease forever paying her for her and her family as long as that fucking mall's sitting there. They're getting paid.
Oh, wow.
They're getting paid because that mall is sitting on the land. Now, what if we told her that 1800 shit, you gotta let that shit go? If she did, those people that stole from her, that family that owns that land that were getting paid millions, would still be getting paid millions, and this black family would still be living in poverty.
Did she have something to start with or something to work
she
with?
was the true live version of the old man from what's that movie? Soul Food. They didn't believe the money was in the TV, huh?
I'm saying it's different when you got something to work with. You know something. But I'm just talking about the people consume so much to the point where they can't go over here and eat a sandwich. We know them sandwiches. You know what the white man put it in turkey?
Yeah, it was scam.
I agree with you. It can't consume. That's why I think just in life in general, you have to have some sort of separation. You acknowledge the things before, but again, if you let that consume you, you're not going to have any joy in your life.
YouTube is full of it. Like people, man, the system. You know what they're gonna do if you had kids? Like, dude, you don't got no kids. Man, they're gonna take half of the.
Everybody's talking about
You know how these women is.
Scam.
You don't have one.
Hold on, Scam. But what it seems like to me is you get up every day and you don't want to think about anything that can happen to you.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just talking about the overkill and how it consumes the person.
Right.
The point, you don't want to take. You don't want this dude to ride to the restaurant or to the club with you because you know what he going. Man, these women out here, man. The white man's car. Don't step on the white man's brake.
Well, and why is that though? When you hear, hold on, watch
crazy.
This. No, I'm asking this, and this is a serious question. When you hear a lot of older men, especially a lot of older men, say the white man this, the white man that. Let me tell you one thing that hurt me the most. My grandfather, when he was alive, that man meant more to me than anything. He just died unexpectedly. My grandfather went to a tire shop because his tire blew out, and he walked up to the guy, and the white man came out. And he greeted my grandfather. He said, "What you need?" Hey, sir, how you doing? What you need or whatever. I'm probably 15. And I'm sitting like this. I'm looking at the white man like this here. My grandfather elbowed the shit out of me. And I'm like, what the fuck you elbowed me for? So the man walked off. My granddad say, don't look in his eyes. You don't never look no white man in his eyes. I said, what the fuck? So what I'm saying to you is when you go through post-traumatic stress, when you go through these things, and I sit down with my grandfather, at first I was pissed off at him. Then I sat down, he said, I remember working in the fields, and I remember a white man hitting my mother across the head with a shovel. Because we even spoke to him or even looked him in his face. He hit my mother across the head with a brick, an iron, whooped my mama with a leather belt. His mother.
That I can understand. I can understand that because you're talking about somebody who's seen and felt.
But even in the early 2000s, when this is no longer happening, he's telling me, his grandson, he's passing that trauma down to me. Don't look in that white man's eyes. Don't look at him. Don't look at him. Because you know what? Untreated trauma will continue to be passed down. Those people that went through, my grandfather never get any therapy. My grandmother didn't get any therapy. So when you don't get therapy, you don't get the help, you're going to pass that down. So when you get those people that are saying the white man, yes, because grandmama told them, uncle told them, Uncle Billy told them, they was born in 1912, 1935. They're still alive. Tell them, don't look that white man in the eyes. Don't you say that to the white man.
I get it, but I mean,
even that case with R. Kelly,
John is 16 years old. John is 16-year-old and walking to the park in Michigan. He's, man, the white people, like, no, John, that's not true. The park is open and it's right there. The beach is open and the water is blue. Man, at what point? I get what you're saying.
Right.
Trauma is trauma. And some you can get and some you can't get out your mind. But there's people now who don't even know what the trauma even smells like. Still got it in their minds and it doesn't even exist.
Okay.
The gym is open right now.
Uh-huh.
Or
Now, hold on. Let me
I
push
don't
back
want
on
to
that
go
a
too
little
much in
bit.
detail.
Let me
I'm
push
talking
back on
about
a little
people
bit.
running in the Victim Olympics.
Right. Okay. So we
don't
say
even have a uniform.
That's fine. But let me tell you why I'm so passionate about it. Because black people are so ignorant. And
No,
let me
just
tell you
your
why.
part.
I went. Hold on. Yeah, ignorant. I went downtown Dallas because I live here in Dallas. I went downtown Dallas, and I had my kids with me because we like to go walk down there sometimes. Look, they like the buildings and all that shit. So we looking. There was a little girl and her mom. The little girl walked over to the statue, grabbed the horse by the legs, and said, "Mama, take a picture of me with the big statue." Her mom pulls out the camera. I said, "Excuse me." I said, "Do you know who that is, ma'am? If you don't mind me asking." She said, "I don't know who that is. My daughter just wanted to take a picture with that statue." I said, "Ma'am, that's Robert E. Lee." She said, "Who is Robert E. Lee?" I said, "A man that raped girls your daughter's age. He did that, and they put a statue of him to be recognized here. And your daughter just took a picture with a man that used to rape little girls the same age as your daughter right now." Guess what the lady did? She went in her phone and she deleted the damn picture. She said, "Sir, I swear to God, I didn't know that." Robert E. Lee. If you walk through Central Park, there's a picture of a man that used to drill holes in the heads of black babies to see how much pain they could stand. His statue's sitting in Central Park. Am I lying, Shushu? It's sitting in Central Park right now. And people pass by it every day. Women are protesting out front with they stain the front of their clothes to represent how this man used to rip women apart. He used to go inside their bodies and rip their organs out. And guess what he wrote in the journal? That's in the Smithsonian, by the way. You can go look at it on display. He wrote in the journal, women are it's almost paranormal to see when I pull one of their kidneys out, how strong they are. These black women they don't even scream when I rip their guts out.
He was known as like the godfather or the creator of
gynecology.
Yeah.
Gynecology.
He said when I used
that's
to
why the book of Mary Partai came out.
Yeah, he said when I stab the women and they rip their stomachs open, they don't even moan, they don't scream or nothing. They just, it's like paranormal. These women, oh my God. Ben Franklin said the stench of skin the stench of black skin when it's burned, when you put a little jasper with it, the aroma of the house is better. This is what this is why I'm passionate about it, because I'm just a nut for history, because in order to know where you're going, you got to know where the hell you've been. And this little girl took a picture with a man that raped little girls that are 11, 10, 11, 6 years old, sold them into sex trafficking. And this woman's taking a picture of her daughter and they didn't even have no clue who he was. This is the things I'm talking about. People being ignorant. I was ignorant, taking a picture with Abraham Lincoln until I sat there and just read the whole wall. I read it like 5 or 6 times. I said, I can't believe this. I can't believe what I'm seeing. So we have these statues. We have schools. What school you go to? When I was little, we went to a school. What's the name of your school? Robert E. Lee. We happy about it. Don't even know the hell who Robert E. Lee was.
I sure did too. I went to Robert E. Lee
High school. Yeah, Robert E. Lee.
Yeah, sure did. And Sherry went to a magnet school though.
Yes, I went to Booker T. Washington.
Hey, and so you know what I did? I went downtown there. I don't know if you guys remember the deleting.
That's why Mandrell get off that white Negro energy. Okay.
Right. So I don't know if y'all remember. Do y'all remember the shooting in downtown Dallas some years back? Mm-hmm. From the guy that went crazy to start deleting people. I was on the front lines. I have video. I'll pull it up one day and show it to you guys. I have video of me protesting something. I forgot what we were protesting that day. I was part of the organizing that. And we were walking and I heard the shots. Pop. Oh, damn, that police officer just got shot. Damn. You see me on camera running, right? You see me on camera running. The officer said, and this, I remember it, guys. And I know I may get kicked off for this. I remember the officer saying, there are 2 white shooters with masks on running with semi-automatic weapons. We need to find them now. He told everybody to get down. That night, they blew up a building with a black dude in it.
Yeah, they used an automated vehicle or automatic robot or something like that. Yeah.
So there's a lot of, like I said again, guys, I'm not going to sit up here and be like, oh, the white man, this white man. No, there are some really, really cool white people. There's a lot of white people that help black people along the way. I'm not saying I'm not putting everybody in one bowl. But I'm saying, guys, these things existed. They still exist now. They took off the robes and stopped burning the crosses, and now they wear the shield. Now I saw a documentary where this guy was a what do you call the people that work on the ambulance? God damn it, my mind's going crazy.
EMT.
Yeah. He was on the ambulance, and y'all gotta Google this guy. He would not work on black people. They start wondering, why all the black people dying? That lady has smoke. What? Why is she?
I always used to ask everybody, what happens to the rides on the way to the hospital?
Yes.
Nobody never talks about that.
So you know what I'm talking about then.
I know exactly where you at, bro.
The man stealing them organs. That's what he was doing.
Yeah, he would not.
Organs.
When black people would get on there, they say the black people would be hard to breathe, and so people were scared of this man because he intimidated a lot of people. But somebody blew the whistle on his ass. But what happened was when black people get on there, he said, "I ain't touching no nigga. Let him shit. He died. I don't care." But if it was a white person, right now they don't have the robes on anymore. They have on the EMT outfits. They have on the judge robe. They have on the police outfit. They're everywhere that has power now.
But Black Man, can I ask you a question?
You sure can. Absolutely. I got you.
You know, you're a Christian, right?
Absolutely.
If you're going to apply this if you're going to paint this narrative with the same brush, the Bible itself also has this horrible history as it pertains to slavery.
It does.
Right? And so, but you still believe in the Bible.
No,
right?
No. Listen to I want everybody to hear this.
That's stuttering now.
No, I'm not stuttering.
I'm just saying in general.
No, I'm not stuttering.
I
Yeah, this is what it is. The Bible has that in it. The Bible has a lot of stuff in it, right? If you go back and watch a lot of my shows, I never claim religion. I claim relationship. Has anybody ever heard me say otherwise?
Yeah, I have. You said you were a Christian.
I said, no. I said I'm a Christian, but I said I'm about the relationship with God.
Things. Yep. That's correct. That's two. Mandrell, right? He's pretty much saying what me and you said. It's just in a different way. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
Hey, Black Man, I got a question though.
Yeah,
so, it's different. It's different.
So shouldn't this be left to a historian then spreading that across? Because if you getting every black person to dig this deep into history to pull up that much pain and try to figure out some way to keep it separate, because even me watching a movie will get upset for a second watching certain movies or reading certain articles and this and that. Yeah. So if
that's part
we
of my
got
point.
all this knowledge over so much time trying to push it into a person, isn't that keeping that emotional damage? Because we're already emotional as it is,
right?
And it took a lot of programming, and it could be blessings that I can control my emotions, and especially for my size, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't react like a lot of other people just because people get intimidated anyway.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
but
that person can't walk to the store.
So
yeah, like frowning my face, like just the stories you was just telling me, I just felt my brow just shrinking down, and it's like, wow, that's a lot of weight if I try to put that much, because we got a lot of positive history,
right?
But when you get deep into that, I would rather see that more on the historian part, the deep dive and that much pain, and that you're actually prepared and emotionally, mature to handle that kind of history. And so I don't want to forget it. I just don't want to put that, so it caused the PTSD.
But how do you do both?
Right. That's what I was about to say. So when you
how do you do both? Like you said you don't want to forget it, but you can't forget it if you never knew it.
Right.
So
exactly.
So where are you going to get that from if and again, we didn't learn a lot of this stuff in the schools that we grew up in. A lot of us didn't learn this until college, and a lot of us are coming to the space that we're learning. So if you never learned it, then you can't forget it. And so again, these things are going to be inconvenient. I don't think, again, but I agree, like I said, what Blackatron was saying, I don't believe you shouldn't be in bondage for it. You shouldn't live in fear of it. So I agree. I think, again, we talked about this whole conversation. We talked about, can you make a separation? Can you separate the history from like today or whatever these, like, because even for some of these people that we're talking about, did they do things that were instrumental to our society? It's like you can't deny, again, you can't deny the effect that a lot of these artists and athletes. I'm more an athlete guy than an entertainer guy. So like this shirt that I'm wearing, my daughter's got it for me. On the back of the shirt is Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, and Joe Louis. Right. And I'm a huge boxing fan, always have been. These are icons to me in terms of their ability in the ring and the calls that they did. Again, but if you go into their history, a lot of things. Mike Tyson, the most recent, we know, he still denies that he did what he did, whether or not it's true or not. I mean, you, as have the people in the Black community, which is also another point we talked about tonight. A lot of how we approach these things is whether or not we believe it or not.
Right.
A lot of people believe that he was set up. So, for people to say, okay, I'm going to just remove him off. I can't support him anymore. But if you don't believe that he ever did it, then that's going to be hard. That's going to be even harder for you to do. So again, there's the truth of history. There's Candidate, you talk about the Bible. There's a lot. Now, I don't think the slavery in the Bible is the same as the chattel slavery that we went through. I don't think that's a fair comparison.
No, I was just talking about how the Bible was used.
Agreed.
Agree.
But the reason they tried to use it is because they tried to equivocate. And if you look at the laws, what was there was no comparison to it.
No.
So so again, this idea: can we look at the history or the actions of an individual, and can we? Because if we don't compartmentalize, and again, we're going to be all of us. We're just going to be locked up in our rooms, and we don't want to go anywhere. Right. I think we have to acknowledge that these things happened. But where do we go from here? Can we learn from these things? Can we take the best of what these people contributed and take it forward? Right. If someone did these kind of things, but they think they started a charity of some kind, they have no.
I think we should teach the history without teaching the pain.
Real quick. Okay, so I'm gonna say this, Scam Likely. When it comes to the Jewish community, like No Captivity just said in the chat, he said the Jewish people never forget their past. They never forget what they went through.
But what else do they have, though?
And you never see people on panels saying the Jewish people running the Victim Olympics.
Yeah, but they got culture and standards. So it's so much stuff to balance. We have nothing to balance it.
Right.
Like we got some
but
good.
But that's what I was going to say to you, Thanos Theory. That's where it both comes in to me, brothers. Like, I think all we're doing with the history is unraveling the big lie.
Right,
because the lie is what got us where we are.
Exactly.
Now.
I'm just saying that I'm refusing to accept.
And I agree with Blackatron. Like I cannot rock with cats. It's just like, oh, you just pointing out everything. I'm like,
I'm not going to accept the pain from it because then I can't go over there and eat a sandwich.
Okay, so Blackatron, hold on. You separation. So say for instance, Blackatron, you have children. Right. Your daughter comes home from school. Hey, Daddy, it's Thanksgiving holiday. My teacher taught me this today. And you look at the paper and you see a pilgrim hugging a Indian, and at the bottom it says, when the pilgrims came over to the Indians, they hugged them, they loved them, they sat down and they supped together, and they were happy. They grew plants together. What would you say to your daughter?
You don't want the answer.
What would you say?
I'll give you the answer. I would let her have it because
me too.
I can't separate like that much separation. It's like if we're going to fully separate, that's one thing. But how you going to separate from the system we live in? No matter.
But what I'm saying is, I don't want my daughter to grow up thinking that was a friendly thing, because it was not. They came over, they raped the women. They cut the heads off the men.
Is this what you're telling your daughter at that age, though?
What?
Yeah, for what?
Okay, hold on. So it's okay. Hold on. It's okay for the teachers. Hold on. It's okay for the teachers to teach them a dream.
For the sake of truth.
No, but I'm saying if my daughter at that age, it's okay for them to teach my daughter a lie. My daughter believes it.
No.
Okay.
Well, Black man, listen to me. What I'm saying is that this is complicated and complex, and I don't have the answer. Right. So I'm saying that, like, what does a parent do? Like, your child is just a child. You're going to teach her about graping and about chopping heads off and all this other fucking nonsense.
Well, okay, hold on. Okay,
I'm not saying the history is important, but like, when is it appropriate? Like, could we pull back? Can we just say it didn't go like that? However, there was something that happened. I don't know what the answer is. Someone help me out here. But I'm just saying, like, that sounds like too much too soon.
Well, even when my daughter came to me and said, "Daddy, I'm going to tell Santa Claus I want this year," I said, there is no Santa Claus.
I don't care about Santa Claus.
No,
I'm
but I'm
talking
saying
about
that's
graping.
one of
It's
the
easier than chopping
But
heads off.
that's one of the things, though. Our kids, when you go see the images on the Coke cans, a white man with rosy cheeks on the Coke
Listen,
can,
Jesus,
on the
listen,
sides.
I've been talking about. I'm sick of that white Jesus in everybody's house.
Right,
Okay,
exactly.
I've been talking about that. People are like, "Oh, here's Jesus." This,
Right.
I got
and we're dealing
Mandrell
with that
on my
damn
door.
painting for years and
Right.
years and years and years and
My
years. So
man.
I hear you.
My
I'm
man.
very
My
upset
man.
with Santa Claus,
My man.
but it's not that harmful. But when we're talking about this pilgrimage and the real history, we're starting to get deep. It's starting to get heavy. Santa Claus, I don't care about. We can not talk about the Tooth Fairy and Santa Claus. I don't mind. But there are other topics where it just gets a bit heavy. Where do we draw the line? When do we know that it's appropriate? Now, like I said, I don't have the answer. I'm just posing the question because some of this stuff is heavy for adults to deal with.
Right.
When are we going to introduce this hard truth to our kids?
So let me finish. When my daughter went back to school, when my daughter went back to school with that Christopher Columbus thing, I put a picture of him in the middle, and I put everything he did around in a circle. And she took it to school and presented it. They called me. I knew they was. We need you to come in. Okay, cool. I'll be there. I knew they're gonna call me. And so I get in there and I say, listen, your daughter cannot present this because this is not factual. I said, it's not factual. I said, ma'am, what books are you reading? I said, this is very factual. She said, would it be better? This is a white lady now. Would it be better if we just allowed her to do someone of her own culture? Oh, because we can't allow that.
An insult.
I said, ma'am, are you kidding me? I said, can we sit down together and just go over this together so you can know that this is truth? I said, but you know what? I'll do you a favor. You keep that project, but give me what person do you want me to use? What person are you going to give her? Well, I have someone special. I'll let her get it out. I have someone special. How about we do the boxer, Jack Johnson? I said, absolute. I said, you know what? You're right. I said, you talking about Jack Johnson, the boxer that was at his prime, knocking all the white men out, beating the hell out of all the white men. He fell in love with a white woman. Y'all got mad at him, told a white woman to lie on him and say he raped her. Then they took him, put him in jail. He spent 7 years in jail for raping the woman. While he was in jail, he invented a tool. And when he got out, he wanted to get the licensing for the tool. He took it to New York City to get the license. And when he got there to get the license, they told him, yes, we'll let you have the patent for the tool, but we're going to name it. And guess what the name of the tool was? The monkey wrench. She said, oh my God, I didn't know that. I said, you didn't know about Christopher either. So I said, let's go ahead and keep this project, ma'am. Right? Because we have to know the monkey wrench. When we say monkey wrench, yes. When we say the word motherfucker came from slavery. It's because they took the women, the mothers, put bags over their head, put the bags over the son's head, put them in sex houses, and made the mothers and the sons have sex with each other with bags on their head. It was called
across the water over here, Eastern Shore. He's exactly right.
Even master bedroom. Master bedroom comes from slavery. The master room where he used to have sex with the slave girls. This is listen, guys. I can do this, but I don't want to. Like I said,
all my favorite curse words. Yes.
You have to change it up.
Yeah, motherfucker is when they used to. I'm telling you, put bags around the boys' men head and made them have sex with their own mama so they can create stronger slaves because the men were so strong. They wanted more. They wanted to bring a stock of men, and so they did.
I think to help Kennedy and Thanos, because to me, I can see it in their face that they're like other people probably in the chat and that's watching. We're trying to just get to a point like when and where, but we know it needs to be done.
Right.
That's where we at. That's what I like about this show. Well, I'm just saying, we know we need to know certain things, but you need to know when to tell the children. That's what I'm saying.
And guess what, Bernard? When they mentioned all these years, anybody said nothing. But as soon as they mentioned, here we go, no captivity. Come on, start. Let me find out you got a camera in my house. No captivity said this is white people are fighting against CRT. Yes, as soon as they mentioned CRT, teaching that in school, boy, them white folks went crazy. Don't you teach my kids. In Texas right now, let me tell you this, I'm likely, then I'm going to let you cook.
Lock your ass up.
In Texas, guess what they did in Texas? They passed a law. You're not going to teach CRT to kids. We don't want black kids to know the real history, right? We're not going to teach about Martin Luther King. We're not going to teach about Malcolm X. They cut all it out. If y'all want to go ahead and Google the laws in Texas right now. You can't teach Martin. You can't teach Malcolm. You can't teach CRT. You can't teach those guys because they don't want to incorrectly inform the students of false equivalency to these men and giving these men too much power.
Even in
But
black
they already did.
You cannot. They already passed the law. You can't teach.
No, they already did because like I said, Thanos probably can agree. I don't know who else does what me and him might do or what I do, but Malcolm X, Magneto.
Yep.
Xavier, Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King. Come on, you see them? Oh my! Let me find out.
Those are actually the characters. Those are actually the characters that Stan Lee modeled those two people after.
Yes.
He did. He started with Magneto. He's like he looked at Malcolm X.
Yes.
He started drawing. He actually drew Magneto when he was watching a documentary on Malcolm X. He looked at Martin. He drew Professor Xavier. He modeled those characters. Right. Two people fighting for the same cause,
but one
they very different ways of going about it.
Yes.
He modeled those two characters after Malcolm and Martin.
I got a question.
Go ahead, Scam.
And I hate to have to say it like that. And I mean, I'll just say it as is. I'm so glad I wasn't taught this stuff. Because I haven't seen a smile in last 5 to 10 minutes, and I ain't seen a positive comment in the chat and that. Meaning that's what this stuff does. It's misery. And misery goes into the mind and eventually goes and acts itself out.
So Black history just don't need to be done. Just don't teach it.
Don't learn about black. I'm not talking
what
about
it is.
Black. I'm talking about it from an emotional standpoint.
Yeah, you're gonna get emotional.
Talking about from the pain.
Yeah.
That's what it does. Meaning, I want to tell you something great. I want to tell you something positive, but I can't.
Right.
Therefore, this conversation or this part of it, there is nothing you can gain by teaching someone that. I don't see anything. All I see is misery. Okay. And then misery repeating. Then when you tell the next person, hey, man, you know what I was talking about yesterday, man? They used to cut the guts out. A negative result happens.
But the guy's standing right there in the park, a statue of him. What do we?
If you don't know the statue was there and you were at the beach anyway, what'd you go to the beach for?
No. What I'm saying,
go look at the statue.
What I'm saying to you is the reason that it's important.
Now, do I believe they should blow up the statue? Yes.
No. What the reason that? All right. And the reason for that is the reason that kids should. I mean that you should start teaching. And like Candy said, I'm not going to tell a 3-year-old. You know what? They hung him upside down. I'm talking about kids that are older that has an understanding to say, and then when they start asking, because my daughter start asking questions. Hey, Daddy, why?
Okay, that I understand.
Are there not any of this? What happened to this? Right, and that's why I start doing a show every day until my job hours change. When we talked about strange fruit, and we know strange hanging fruit, but we talked about Mississippi being the first concentration camp in the United States of America, right? And so me and my daughter had this conversation. She said, what happened to them? All the slaves were free. They let them go. Go have your way. They passed the law. You're free in Mississippi. The white men said, I don't give a damn what the law said. Hunt them all down. They hunt them all down, threw them in a hole. They threw them in the hole, right? They call it the punch bowl. They threw them in there, left them in there. The white man said, when they die, bury them where they die. They buried them there. You know what happens there today? They have the best peaches on the planet that grow in there. You know what the black people do in that town? They don't go down there and pick those free peaches because they know under the ground and where those peaches are growing from come from bodies. All those they said over 25,000 bodies under that ground, and those peaches are rooted through those bodies that were buried. And now you go down and white people just going down there, getting them, making pies, biting them, eating them. And you're eating. Now they just made a movie about it. They just made a movie about them eat. Sushi, am I right? They just made a movie about people eating fruit that come from corpses of black people.
Yeah, they did a documentary. There's a documentary about that. They just did.
Right. And so the black people in that town, they know. We're not going down there eating them peaches because we know those bodies. And every now and then, the Mississippi River overflows into that punch bowl. And then when the water recedes, they find more bodies. They find at least 10, 15 more bodies a year that are at least 60 years old, 80 years old, 100 years old, bones, babies' bones, women's bones, men's bones. They just find them and they collect them all, take them into the history.
So whether you want history to come up or not, it's still
going to show its face.
Okay, so let me ask you. Recently, I heard some crazy lady on the internet talking about Martin Luther King and how he shouldn't be celebrated. And correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know exactly
You're
what
right.
he said. It was something about like he shouldn't be celebrated because of his infidelity or something like that.
Right.
Right. And I don't know if it was true or not, but like, are you saying if that's the case, then do you think that we should not celebrate him because of his infidelity, because of his history?
Right. And
No,
that's what I'm not saying.
it was way past infidelity, because I'm gonna break it down.
Come on,
simple
Bernard.
and easy.
Get it for us.
Y'all are proving my point.
And I'm happy to learn.
We're gonna have to keep digging.
First of all, look who he was hanging with.
Yep.
And then look who he was hanging with. Yep. And who he was hanging with had something done in the White House. So you go from Martin to Jesse, from Jesse to Bill Clinton.
Yep.
Y'all are proving it's a straight line. It's not proving a point. I'm just saying it's just, here's the thing. Here's the whole thing about everything that we're talking about tonight. It's been going on for years and it's going on right now. When people get a certain amount of power, I don't care who you are, it could be in our family, they abuse it.
Yep.
And just because they have that power, they think they can do whatever they want. No matter how good the gift is and what the gift is, preacher, pastor, whatever, it doesn't matter. It could be a regular person at work. But back to your point, though, Blackatron, when I'm at work, when them cats start talking sideways, and I gotta say, I don't pick cotton in the field. Who you think you're talking to? You don't ain't talking about it black. Because I'd be ready to get it.
Yeah, me too.
My wife got to calm me down. She's like, but no, you're not gonna talk to me any type of way.
Right.
You got me twisted up like a bad hair braid, real bad, because I know where their history is coming from. So now I got to bring what my forefathers couldn't do. I'm gonna bring it. Because that history is important to me. Like I said, once again, when you had the Ku Klux Klan burn my grandfather's house down and tell him to get to walking, don't look back. No, I'm drawing all the way back to that when I hit him.
And you know
that's
what?
Real talk.
And that's why
that's real talk.
The passion comes a long way, because my grandfather, how old was my grandfather when he died? 90 something, 94, 95. Anyway, he said, grandson, I want to show you something. I said, okay, all right. I was old enough, Candid. He said, I want to show you something. I said, okay. We went to this old ass church, like in the middle of nowhere. The church that broke down. It was just, the church was in rubbles. I was like, damn. I said, what we out here for? He finna take me out? And so we get down there, and he said, I want to show you something. So we walked behind the rubble of the church. He said that church was there when I was a kid, but it fell in or whatever. We walked a little bit in the woods, like a couple of things in the woods. He said, we used to stay right over there. He said, this was the community church for for everybody that was enslaved, or everybody that was a part of it. Like, we all lived out here. And so we went in the woods, and you seen a little hut over here, little hut. I say, damn, this is like a relic. Like I'm going back in time. He said, yep, I want to show you something. I said, okay. He said, remember I told you about my mama? I said, yeah. Remember I told you my mama died? I said, uh-huh. He said, my mama got hit across the head right here. And this is where she passed away at. I said, hit across the head with what? That was playing or something? He said, uh-uh. He said, my mama looked at the man wrong, and this is where she lost her life. He said, I'm gonna show you where she buried. We walk a little bit further out. There's two little concrete things sitting in the ground. And you see where the people carved a little bit in there. And he said, see, there go my mama right there. She buried right there. His mama right there. And my grandmother wanted to get her body pulled up and move her so he can have access, because those woods, we in the swampy area in Louisiana. You can't just, so she wanted to have the body pulled up and moved to an area where he can go and visit. But they told her, you don't have no proof that's his mama, so we can't move nobody if you don't have proof. So my grandfather, all he wanted was his mama moved. And it's no, you don't have proof. Where's the paperwork? What paperwork do you have when my grandfather was 9 years old when his mama got hit across the goddamn head with a stick or a piece of wood or something, and he knocked her ass out? She didn't wake up. And he never, in that body, and she's still there. I took my kids to see it. It's still there. And my grandmother, he passed away. Mother never was moved. These are the things that I'm talking about. Scam Likely White. I'm not going to walk every day, because I don't do it every day. We be on this show. We don't talk about this kind of stuff every day. I don't come on here and talk about this every day, but some things, man, the pain is so bad for some people. You have to share it with you share it with your family, because you want your family to be aware of what happened to their lineage. A lot of people are going to Ancestry.com when your grandmother 99 years old, and she can tell you right there This is what happened in our family. This is what happened. This is what happened. This is my grandmother said my brother was digging a hole with a backhoe when the machinery first started getting popular. And she said my brother got down in the hole and the man pushed the backhoe forward. And she said her brother got buried alive and they tried to dig him out before he suffocated and he passed away. Just because he didn't like him. Right? So it's painful for a lot of people, but it needs to be talked about. Because I'm not saying just bring it up every day, but talk about these things. Allow your kids to understand, listen, see where you are today and all the privileges that you have today. Absolutely. These people made it so you
absolutely
could be here. These people that was on that bus on Bloody Monday, back in the day, those white people, that's what I'm saying. Some white people was on that bus with those black people. We're going to get y'all the rights to vote. We're going to get y'all, we're going to be, and they just burned the whole bus down with them in it. What?
And most of us can call our uncles or parents if they still living. How many times they tell you walking down the street I never could walk down when I was a child?
Exactly.
I heard that all the time from my mom.
See, mine was opposite. And that's probably why I think like this, because my grandfather made sure he purposely told me to go out there and show them up. That's all he would tell me. He would never tell me the other side. And I knew they went through stuff, you know what I'm saying, in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, especially, you know, leaving VA, going up to Jersey. And man, I think I'd have been a whole different person if I got the brunt of the history. Like the stuff you give to me now, I'm hearing for the first time. I can only imagine how I would have been learning it early. But my thing is that if we were more together, and we actually could see the community like we used to, it would make a difference. But when you got that kind of pain and then this already current pain, you know, through a lot of people, it's like it's nothing to sit on.
So even though they told you to go out and dominate and take all those positive affirmations, and you're saying if they added that other piece to it, that this is why, because we sacrificed for you, this is what your ancestors paid for you to have the opportunities. You're saying that would not have been a motivator for you to move on and be the man that you are today. Having
I'm saying if he would have, like the way Black Man, like if I'd have got it in that much detail, I think I would have had some anger towards. Like right now,
and that's fine. But that's fine. But I think the question that we all have to ask ourselves, given this history, is what are we going to do with that anger? You can channel it in a lot of different ways. It could either be a negative or a positive. So as long as we're taking whatever that is, because it's information.
I can give you an answer, but it's way different.
And can you make it positive?
I look at
way different.
I like to. I know you've been Black. I really want to hear what you have to say in regards to this, because I understand. I really understand what you're saying, and what the potential risk is of us going in this direction. But I really want to hear what you have to say about.
What I can say is this:
where you from, Black Sean?
Virginia.
Okay, so.
We in the same area. Well, I don't know the same area, but we both in VA.
So I'm gonna let you cook. I'm just saying I'm gonna let you cook.
I'm a city over from you, bro.
It is y'all know me.
Knowing all that stuff as a kid.
So
I'm not trying to offend nobody, or everybody.
We growing up here. This ain't. Hold on. I'm gonna let you cook. Watch this. I'm gonna give you something to eat. I'm gonna eat on real quick, and I'm gonna shut up and let y'all cook.
Pause.
When I was in school, they said they're going to show a movie to the entire school that would help the school with the race stuff, right? And we all came into the auditorium. We sat down. They pulled the screen down, and you wouldn't believe what movie they showed everybody. Rosewood.
What the heck?
They played Rosewood, and when they played Rosewood, you remember when they shot the mama and put her in the casket, and they made the brother dig her hole, and he was handicapped. He couldn't use his left hand. And he said, I don't got but one good arm. And the white man said, we ain't got but one good shovel.
I don't know what Rosewood is.
Okay, that's fine. See, my point. Right. And so when they made him dig it's a true story about this white woman that lied and said a black man raped her, and all the white men got together and slaughtered all the women and children and men in the town.
In Florida. Yep.
So what happened is, so we watched it. And when it got to that part, and the part when Ving Rhames was swinging in the tree, and it was like, oh yeah, that nigga stopped breathing in a minute. All the white boys in there. And I knew then At that moment, they knew they fucked up. Because I'm looking directly over and the first question I ask you is, what the fuck is funny? That's what I asked him. What the fuck is funny? And the white dude say, rewind that shit and we're gonna laugh again. I'll show you what's funny. I said, you can get your ass whooped. Right? At that school that day, that was the biggest fight and riot that school has ever seen. It was white bodies flying everywhere. It was people getting thrown through trophy cabinets. It was people getting their heads slammed in doors. There were people getting thrown down the auditorium ramps. Right? They didn't have enough police officers in the little town I'm from to stop that shit. Because they played something at the school that caused so much pain. And the white people come out there, we want this, we're suing every person for every mark. I want $10,000 for every scratch on my child's face. No, your son was laughing at black people being deleted. At a true story about a whole town of women, and at the end of that movie, they show a hole full of women and children piled up to the top. And they buried them all in a mass grave. You right in Florida, it happened in your state, brother. It happened in your state right now. And you could probably go and see relics of everything that they did to those people. And these white people thought it was funny. It was a joke. And we had to take care of business. Right? I'm with Bernard. You're not going to sit up here and laugh at the sight of what you did to these women and children and these men. I can't allow that. But go ahead, Blackatron. I'm not going to hold you up no longer.
I'm glad that I wasn't taught this stuff and taught this in this way. And I wish I could share you my side other than the pain. Just like what was just shared. 1 out of 10 people on the panel is going to have a nightmare tonight when they could have slept 8 hours. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
While that fight was going on, if they didn't play that movie, somebody could have been playing dominoes. Somebody could watch the movie, or they can go to the beach.
The principal was white.
Huh?
The principal was white. He chose the movie.
The principal chose the movie, which was stupid.
No, that was stupid. Yeah, because that's not something you show in a school.
Right.
But I'm just saying, for a person who has the option, they can watch this, or they can go to the gym. I'm a person who will choose to go to the gym. It's not a disrespect to Black history. I just don't see the production or something positive as a result of watching this and feeling the pain. Because the pain does nothing but repeat more pain. Because now I'm looking at somebody funny 2 days later and they say something and I snap. What you say, what you was looking at? That type. I'm kind of exaggerating, but that's kind of what I'm trying to say. I wasn't taught this. I don't carry the pain. Therefore, I'm able to go and live. I'm able to go and move from here to there and be free.
Right,
I don't have a picture of white men blocking the doors when I try to go to the gym, where there's a lot of people who do. So I have conversations with these people and I'm telling them, dude, the gym is open and just go man to man. So I'm trying to express another side.
I'm saying, would you care if the ground you was walking on, there were people that were deleted just for being just having a skin color? Would you be okay with finding those people in your backyard when you were trying to plant roses?
I come to the point that angels and demons have been fighting on the earth since the beginning of time, and I'm gonna have to be okay with that. I don't have a choice. The question is, how am I going to be okay with it? Do I accept extra pain? Eventually, I have to go across the street and eat a sandwich. How do I get to go over and eat the sandwich and have a smile? Like I tell you, on this panel, no one has smiled in the last 15, 20 minutes. Someone's going to have a nightmare out of 10 people on the panel.
But you know what, though, Blackatron? Every day ain't going to... Listen.
Every day... I think it's more so like the importance of knowing and being aware of it is to make sure that it doesn't happen again and that we don't go back there. So many things that we fought for and how far we've come is to make sure that laws aren't put back in place to take us right back to the same place that we were once in. That's the point of it. Jews make sure that this world never forgets the Holocaust, so that they are never experiencing another Holocaust ever again. Jews don't walk around like, ready to slap somebody all the time either, but they make it a point to make sure that everybody knows that this happened so that it doesn't happen again.
Right.
The sad part is, the sad part about
it is like
we gotta make sure we know, and the purpose of knowing how deep this goes is because people just dismiss it as, oh, people were just locked up in chains or something. No, it goes so much deeper than that. This was completely inhumane. And people need to know how inhumane this was, so that you can't just sweep it under the rug or like dust it off your shoulder like, oh, it's slavery, get over it. You can't get over something like that. And as powerful as it is, you need to know so you can see how it still affects us even now.
Yep. And I agree because if y'all look it up, what's his name? Bald head, light skinned dude with the beard, the rapper. What's his name? He's an actor. What's his name? Common. He got a movie he just did with a lady based on true events.
Yes,
it was
I
like
saw it.
it was like Antebellum in the early 70s. The lady
What's the
didn't
name
even
of the
know.
damn movie?
I forgot the name of it. She didn't even know it was the 70s. She still thought she was living in the 1920s because the guy had trapped her and some black people on a slave plantation. It was like 1973.
Oh, yeah.
It's based on a true story. So you talking about don't forget history, bruh. They still got cats doing that. That was 1973. She had never seen. She didn't even know other black people. She didn't even. She almost got hit by him. It was a rig. She had never seen a truck before, and she said, let alone a black man driving a truck.
It's called Alice, guys. Alice,
bruh. That's a banging movie.
The only one little thing I want to say here is that, like, at the end of the day, when we talk about the Jewish community and how their history has motivated them to be a community, unfortunately for our community, it doesn't seem to join us, and that's the unfortunate part of it. All we seem to do is to get violent and protest and do all these burn shit down and fuck shit up and get angry. And like you said, you turned around and told that guy, you're gonna get fucked up today, and the whole school started rioting and the movie and all that. But like, did any legislation change?
Nope.
Did anything actually happen? Did we get together as a community and decide that we're going to force some kind of action? And that's where I feel like, I hear scam likely where you gotta at the end they make a sandwich or whatever. I hear you, but I wish that this knowledge was more than just us getting emotionally upset, that it would actually turn into something that joined us as a community, that would create legislation, that would create some semblance of a community where we can, as a unit, get some shit done, as opposed to just talking about, I'm angry, I'll fuck you up, white boy, because that doesn't do anything.
Now, I want to say this.
That's more traumatizing.
Hold on. I want to respond to that. So there was a law that they put into Senate. I know some of you guys may be familiar with the anti-lynching law. Mm-hmm. They've been working for 30 years to get this law put into law that you can't hang black people no more. How is it possible that y'all know this is inhumane?
Because we don't vote for our
30 years.
We don't know how to vote.
Why should it take 30 years if you guys have all this history? Like, why does it take 30 years to get something as simple as that?
Because we do not know how to vote, and we do not vote in our best interest. And then if you try to vote in your best interest, you're gonna get torn down by the quote unquote rest of the black community if you do anything different.
So
it's not even that. It's not even that.
How is not that?
Because everything you guys said on this panel is true. Here's where scam likely is actually correct. Okay. None of you, me, or any other black person in this country is gonna do shit about it. The people in Washington aren't gonna do anything about it, and they know it's fucked up. They know it's wrong.
That's the part that's more traumatizing.
Yeah, exactly. Right. That's why I said.
More traumatizing than a 12-year-old girl.
Hold on. Yeah. Yes. Here's the thing. All that happens. Yes. Right. What's more traumatizing than that, black man, is that the people that we need to petition to make changes for us, just like the LGBTQ community has that, the Jewish community, the Asians, everyone else has it. The fact that they know that this has happened and still happens to us The guy George Floyd just got murdered in front of everybody on camera with the cop knowing he was on camera and in front of people. And it took a riot nationwide for them to get one person in jail. No one's asking about the other 3 cops, and they still walking free. The fact, what's more traumatizing is that.
And what did BLM do?
Yeah,
that's traumatizing.
Right. What's more traumatizing is that no one's going to do anything about it. We're on our own.
Mandrell, let me help you out.
We're on our own. No one's coming to help us. The cavalry.
There's only 2 things. There's only 2. Mandrell, let me say this.
Nothing's going to change about it for us. We're out here on our own.
Brother, let me say this. There's only 2 things they understand. That's money and bloodshed. Until we have some type of uprising, like every other race did but us, ain't nothing going to change.
It's not going to change.
Everybody can talk all that junk you want. Like I said it before, I said it again. I can't speak for everybody on this panel. If the cause come up, I'm willing to die for it. My whole family knows. I can't speak.
Our Asian brothers, our Mexican brothers, everybody had an uprising, even the Indians. Even though they didn't win, they had an uprising, but they fought.
They're willing to kill you. They've been willing to kill you. No one cares about I'm willing to die. Are you willing to live?
So I'll say, candidate.
That's my point. I'm willing to live.
Hold on.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Hold on. But Scam Likely, you don't know.
I'm not talking about having a sandwich, Scam Likely. I'm talking about change that is needed for this community to live. Because we're so quick to ready to die for some shit.
But guess what?
I won't die for this.
Hold on. Half of the stuff. But let me teach you a history lesson here, Scam Likely. Half of the shit that the white people wanted. Let's go back to the Tea Party back in the day. Those motherfuckers destroyed every city until they got what they wanted.
They don't care.
That shit up. And guess what? There were laws changed.
I don't want to hear about black men dying.
No, but I'm saying there were laws changed. When the white folks had an uproar, guess what? That January the 6th, how many of them you seen get deleted? None of them. But I'm saying, but hold on. They destroyed
here's the thing.
Come on now.
Hold on. Let me finish. You made a excellent point about the uprising and stuff that everyone else makes.
And the Tea Party, go back.
Hold on. The Tea Party, yes. Here's the thing. Again, there are riots that broke out in other countries over that George Floyd incident. So there's a worldwide impact that incident had. How many laws? What do we get? Worldwide impact of bloodshed. What do we get? We
got Juneteenth.
Hold on. We got Juneteenth holiday. And guess what else? Wait. Hold on. We got George Floyd, a statue of George Floyd. We got no. Here's the thing. What my point is, no matter how much shit we burn down,
federal holiday.
No matter how much blood is shed, it's still not coming to help us.
Fuck about
still
us.
Not going to do the right thing
until we get
together. And like I said, that's where Scam Likely is correct. That is more traumatizing. That no matter what we do, they are still unwilling to look out for us, even though we did build this. Even though we did build this country. Hold on. Even though we did split shed blood, no matter what you do, you are on your own.
Mandrell. So why would I decide to live miserable when I can go to the beach?
Mandrell, there wasn't no bloodshed.
There wasn't no bloodshed. Shit I've ever heard in my life.
That we are on our own, black man.
There's only 2 things.
And this is exactly why we'll never get nothing done.
But I already know that nothing's going to get done.
Hold on,
I know what ain't going to happen.
You know what, though? Hold on. What do black people always do? What we always do?
Let me clarify.
When we get fucked over, it's always,
Lord, let me clarify.
We come to you today asking that you keep them away from us, from hurt, harm, or danger. When the white folks get mad, they come in your house, they take your children, they beat your wife, they do this. They're very violent people, and
nobody praying.
But if I know I can't count on the black man or woman to my left, who am I going to go to?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Yeah, here's the thing.
I'm going to the beach.
Like Bernard. Right, to Bernard's point.
He's going to be over there. He's going to be on their side.
There is no side.
Here's the thing.
All you can do is pick the best people and rock with. That's all you can do.
I got it. Here's the thing. Let me clarify. To Bernard's point, he says this is why nothing will ever change. He's correct. But that's all the more reason why we do need to unify. However, the Willie Lynch shit has been set in far too deep. That ain't happening. You're going to get some of us. You might get a lot of us who will unify for a cause and actually push for some legislation. But the people in power know that all they have to do is ignore us long enough. We don't have enough power. We don't have enough unity. We don't have enough juice. We don't have enough influence. We don't have enough. That's what I'm saying. We do not have enough. They are not worried about black people.
We supposed to protest
at all.
I'm here figure.
We are no threat to them.
Well,
We're not
a
in
race.
politics.
It's not some big mass race
right.
war. It's
And
more
the
of
thing
a
is,
class war anyway.
Right. And the thing is, the more the people we have in politics representing us, they're on the other side. If there's a side issue, they're on the other side.
Mandrell, white on white crime is the white on white side. Just like people think that there's all these white people standing over here saying, man, we're going to get them dark. That's not what it is. You think them on us, we only got what, 1 or 2% of the wealth? What do you think they're doing to each other? They're not a community either. You think Google and Microsoft, look at what Bill Gates tried to do to Elon Musk. That's on the corporate side. Hey man, I'm gonna short your company, but hey, let's do business together. It's about angels and demons. Good people and bad people, regardless of race. Yes, white supremacy, systematic white supremacy exists. 50 years ago, it was 75% of black people's problem. Now it's like 5% of the problem.
No, that's incorrect. That is way.
No, it's not. Here's the thing, Black Man. A lot of this we can correct.
It's 5% of the problem, but they make it 50% in their mind.
A lot of this we can correct ourselves. A lot of it.
The gym is open.
Correct all of it, but we can correct a lot of this.
You go to school on a Pell Grant.
The
information is there.
You're right. The thing
stuff is there. Amazon's paying $20 an hour to lift in a warehouse. 4 people can go get an apartment, stay in a room, and save money. There's an opportunity to do so. Back then, the answer was no. Now the answer is, can you do so?
The thing is,
now you can't get nobody to work.
Brothers and sisters.
That's the thing. You can't even get anybody to work, let alone
get nobody to work now.
Let alone Bernard run for public
brothers
office.
and sisters from the Mexico.
Hold on, we can't get people to work, let alone run for public office and get in positions where we can enforce, make decisions. Get people to be police chiefs, fire chiefs. There are small cities like the one I did a show on in Arkansas. There's another one in Georgia they're trying to do. The one in Tennessee, the state's actually trying to stop them. They're literally in your face trying to stop black people from doing this. Okay, now the one in Arkansas, super successful. They're still thriving, still growing. Can it be done? Yes, but you need enough people to do these things, and we have to get into politics. If you're not in the politics of that area, you don't own it, and that means white people are still telling you what to do.
Can I ask y'all a question?
You know what I'm saying? Can it be done? Understand this, Black Man Unfiltered, and I'll be done.
Okay.
If we're gonna do this, we have to go in there with the understanding that we have to do it on our own. We have no help from the government. No one's coming to help black people.
All right,
we have to do it on our own.
I have a question for you and Scam Black.
Not with this.
I have a question. What happened when we say that? You know what I think about when you guys say what you just said? How much generational wealth do you think could have been produced if they would have allowed us to continue to have Tulsa?
That's a question for Mandrell, not for me.
How much? No, I'm saying how many families would have? I don't know. Hold on. How many more families would have taken that money from those movie theaters, from those clothing stores, and enhanced those stores like Sam Walton did Walmart, starting a little old place in Bentonville, Arkansas? How many of those stores would have been huge corporations now, and black people would have had their generational wealth?
Are you ready for your answer?
If they didn't go in with bombs and blow up every goddamn thing.
Are you ready for your answer?
Go ahead.
You can't quantify it. You can't calculate that. That's impossible.
But we can't. Okay, so we can't say black people didn't do it. They did it.
Blow that shit up. Again, Black Man, that's happened over 100 times.
Yes.
In recorded history.
I agree.
Hold on. The Black Wall Street incident, that wasn't the first, wasn't the last.
Right.
That's happened literally over 100 times.
So how do you explain that? Wait, what I'm saying now,
what they need to do. No, what I'm saying now is, yeah, understand your history. Yes. Teach your history. Yes. Educate your kids on all this stuff that's happening. However, what Scam Likely is saying is,
what are they doing with the money now?
Right. Now, understand this. No one's coming to help us. We have to do it on our own.
Okay, hold on.
We have no other choice.
What's going on now?
Coming to help us.
Scam Likely, when you say what they're doing with the money now, what do you mean? What money? What money are you talking about?
Okay, what I'm saying is I can go back to what happened in the past and the history and this and this and this and this that I honestly do not feel.
Okay.
But I'm looking out here to people saying, like I said on the pen on Friday, bunch of black women, some with kids, some not, talking about all the men got to go rescue and save the community. What community?
No, but I'm saying
you said single man with no kid. I'm talking about with the culture and what they're saying to go do when we got to.
What money though?
Nothing but, hey, you black man, go give your soul for free, and we're not going to help you.
But I'm saying you mentioned money because I got a point.
Okay, going to money.
Yeah, what you said? What about the money now? What money are you speaking about?
Okay, black people. I won't say the word community. Are consumers. A consuming culture based on emotion, run by 70 to 80% women households.
Okay.
What can you build with that?
I don't know. Tell me.
Victims.
Okay. Now let me ask
you. Can't build with that.
Let me ask you a question. Are you familiar with New York Life?
The insurance company?
Yes.
I kind of know what they are.
Do you know how they got rich? The family that are billionaires right now. Do you know how they got rich?
No.
Where it started?
No.
New York Life started by insuring slaves.
Yeah.
And if they die, they pay you large amount for bodies. And now those families right now, little Christina, that's in 2022, don't have to work no more because great granddaddy made sure those niggas, when they died, we made money off of those niggas. It's a lot of corporations around here and these so-called white companies that were built off this backs of black people in slavery. And now they're billionaires. Now they have money. When you take away, like I said, you take Tulsa away, but these companies were built. This is fact.
We got it. But the point is, there's nothing you can't go in a time machine and stop it from happening.
Right.
You can't do anything about it currently. You're not going to force them to pay their pay their due.
So
that's not happening. That's the thing. The government has acknowledged that we are owed reparations. They still have not paid out. And
the reparations can't repair anything because people's minds are damaged.
We're gonna go back to the economy anyway.
6 months later, be right back broke.
Which one, Thanos?
It would go back to the economy anyway.
Right.
It wouldn't stay anywhere.
I think we need this, guys. Let me go back up real quick. And guys, thank you for this conversation, man. Ain't nobody screaming, hollering at each other, nobody cussing nobody out. This is wonderful.
I respect everybody.
Yeah.
So do I.
Information, man.
Disagree.
Yeah, even though we disagree. Hold on one second, admin. I'm gonna do information, man. Information, man. I want to thank you, man, for becoming a member of the channel, man. I really appreciate you, brother. I really do, man. Thank you so much for becoming a member.
Understand, Black Man Unfiltered. All I'm saying is the way that they're doing in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, the other city up in Tennessee that I did in that story. That's the way we have to do it. You cannot go to Congress, can't go to the House, you can't petition the government to do anything.
Look,
we have to be the ones who govern these communities that we build. Because if you govern it, and we have to raise our children to govern these communities and run for office and things like that. You have to keep it cyclical.
Right. Now, can I take a book out of Scam Likely's book real quick? I'm gonna play devil's advocate real quick. That sounds great. I would love. Matter of fact, I want to visit that damn town. I want to go see it for my own. I'm gonna spend my money in that.
And there's HBCU right there in Pine Bluff.
Now watch this.
Say no to HBCUs.
No, don't start that shit. So listen.
I went she went to one.
Can you imagine?
I went to one. Don't say that.
Yeah, shoot. We'll get his ass in a minute. Shoot. But no, listen, guys. So imagine we're only one complaint or lie away from that town being destroyed. Let me tell you what I mean. Hold on. Let me tell you what I mean. Man. Hold on.
You're not gonna get away with that these days.
Watch this. No. I'm not talking about like Tulsa. Come on, they're more creative. All it takes is Mandrell's the mayor of this little small town called Mandrellville. And Mandrellville got all these black restaurants, black theaters. Oh, they're doing a wonderful job. One of Mandrell's officials goes in with a contractor to build more buildings. The contract is fraud, right? They come in and take over your infrastructure. That's all it takes. They come in.
HBCU.
Yeah, same thing. They come in and take over your infrastructure, and you're back to fucking square one. That's what happens. Now I'm playing devil's advocate here. I don't want that to happen. I swear I want everything to be smooth. But what I'm saying is that if they don't want your ass to exist, you don't exist. What needs to happen is that we need to have enough power to say, you can't come in here and fuck with shit that belongs to us, period. And if you do, there are consequences.
So what's up with Atlanta?
Actually, we have
Black
that
man.
power.
Atlanta got
We
so
have
many
that
black
power.
folks in it.
Yeah, right.
And all black school boards, black mayor.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We got the black mayors. We got those. And they're greasing you faster than the white man will.
Hey, look here. Black man, I'm gonna have to get out of here, man. I gotta go work in the morning. So I guess I'm gonna tell you this. Blackatron, I'm not gonna have no nightmares because I'm gonna think about shoe. So I'm good.
Hey, hold on. Let me get you the screen here. Hold on a damn minute. Hold on. Wait a minute.
You being messy? Don't do that.
Hey, why you got him next to Bill Cosby? Why you got Bill Cosby right there?
He got Bill Cosby right there.
Oh, no.
With the same smirk too.
Talk that talk.
Hey man, he might put his pop or something. Hey, yeah, I ain't gonna have no nightmares tonight, man. I'm sorry, Blackatron. I'm gonna think about shoe and have a good dream and go to work.
Hey, talk your talk, goddammit.
Oh my Lord.
So yeah, y'all, I enjoy the talk. Black Man Unfiltered. I appreciate you for having me every time and all the time. Black men, protect yourself at all times, man.
Amen.
Hey, y'all be good. Later now.
Good night.
Hey, before you go, I got something for you. Hold on a minute. Hey, we all need to laugh in the damn way. Hold on a minute. I got something for you, man.
I know, man. I'm sad.
Man, watch this. Here we go. I got Daniels right there.
He gonna hook you up. He gonna sure. Oh, good. I don't even know what this is.
Here we go.
Thank you for being a friend.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for coming in tonight and giving it out. This is his theme song, and we always send him out with his theme song. He said, listen, if she don't act right, leave her at the restaurant. Men, protect yourselves at all times, or you'll be like the Golden Girls. We got to be willing to protect ourselves at all times. And all the men on the platform say,
thank you for being a friend.
Oh, yeah, that's all we needed. All right, Hank, man, we appreciate you, brother. Man.
God.
You know, we got much love for you, man.
Y'all be good now.
Yeah, we about to get out of here anyway, brother. Appreciate you, brother.
Peace.
All right, man. So, again, man, this conversation was, like I said again, it wasn't disrespectful, it wasn't nothing. We had a great conversation, man. A lot of insight, a lot of stuff, man. I think we're passionate, and I think Canada, I want to acknowledge Canada for saying that what happens, what takes place, that's a conversation that we need to have as well. What do us as a people need to do to establish some power that these other communities are getting? To say, you know what, we're not putting up with it no more. We're not going to take this. We're not going to take this. This is what we need. This is what we're going to do.
Respect is going to be the first one, black man.
Huh?
When we learn to respect each other,
yeah,
then we can start, man. That is the biggest part.
Woo!
Of it all.
Exactly.
You gotta earn so much.
And he hit the nail on the head, because if I didn't respect the differential of some thoughts of Blackatron or I'm still calling them my brothers,
right.
Because where my head is, past all that, at the end of the day, I want to see us win.
Right.
And just because I might not understand where they're coming from, I can't have a one-track mind.
Right.
Because we need to build a Voltron. That's pretty much where we at.
No, exactly.
And everybody has something to offer. So I like the way Blackatron comes in and be like, no, if he comes to my house, my wife be like, oh, he thinks 100% like you all the time, because I'm always complaining about black folk. Always.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things that we can do. You know, we're talking. Someone's asking about asking for solutions. We got to change so much of our culture. It's ridiculous. Yes. We have to change this idea of smoking and drinking and cutting up and acting a fool is cool, but someone that speaks proper English is considered a nerd. We got to change. You know, there's so much that we spend money on people on their clothes that don't care about us, that don't believe in us, but yet we have a difficult time spending our money within our community. We expect all this extra service when we go to Walmart and get the same shitty service, but we'll go there over and over and over and over again, right? There's so much. We talked about I believe it was Mandrell that talked about infiltrating the politicians and getting involved in the government, right? Nate has been on here trying so much and talking so much about people joining the police force, and we just call him nasty names and pigs and all kinds of crap. We got to support these people that are actually out here and deciding to join the police force and support these brothers, support these people, right? We have to support doctors, nurses, all these people, all these infrastructures, entertainment, our Black movies. I want to see a nice, light-hearted, fun, comical movie that's not just downtrodden with slaves and
Yeah.
there's just so much more that we can do. And another thing I want us to also do is to know that just because you see someone that doesn't seem like they're on the front lines, still support them, because you don't know what they're doing on the back end to open that door for you. There might be someone that is into, and I'm making it up now, insurance or whatever the hell it is. And you're thinking, oh, that person doesn't do anything. They might be insuring your family so that you can have a legacy, so that you can have money that's passed on. So there's so many things on the back end that we can do for one another. So if someone's doing anything positive within our community, we need to support these people. All right. So there's just so many things that we can do. And I don't care if it's something as simple as entertainment, as if it's on these panels supporting each other as it pertains to shelling out those cash apps. Okay. So this is Black media right now. There's so much that we can do. And so I only get hurt and upset when I hear about Black men want to shed more blood. So I apologize for that little bit of an outburst, because
I understood it.
Yeah, this unfiltered. Come on now.
Like I don't want Black men to shed any more blood, because this country doesn't give a fuck about you. They'll shed your blood without a thought. I want to see us live. I want to see us live proudly despite the bullshit that goes on out here. That's the way to really, really do some damage. Is to live well. God damn, really? Out here despite these circumstances. That's what I want to see. So that's my little spiel.
Now, can I say this real quick? I think another solution would be, since we're talking about solutions, I think one of the things that we have to do, we definitely, this is for us. I ain't talking about no other culture, no other people. I think we've gotten to a point that we've given our power away. And what I mean by that is, we've given our power away to I want to start at inside our own homes. There are so many men out here that don't speak up anymore about their behavior of their children, where their children are going, the direction that they're going in. Right now, we have mamas going out with their daughters, drinking, smoking. We got mamas that are participating in buying the halter tops and the booty shorts, right, for their daughters to go out and look that way. Right? We become friends with our children, and fathers are supposed to direct their children. Mothers are supposed to nurture their children. But now mama say, I don't want to make my daughter mad because she may not be my friend no more.
Right.
The daddy say, I'm not going to say nothing to the children because my wife might not give me none because she friends with my daughter. So if I tell my daughter not to dress like a slut, my wife may not talk to me no more. Men have lost the leadership now. In our own community now, women are saying, I want a partner. I don't want a leader.
We'll talk about that a whole different thing, because I don't care who leads.
Right.
I don't care who leads. I know we can talk. I don't want to make this a gender war thing or whatever.
No,
Some of you guys are amazing leaders, but if you're not a leader, like
ain't nobody.
Let's not worry about whoever can get the job done. Let's support that person, because it's gotten to the point where, like we need the help wherever we can get the help at this point.
What I'm saying is, being around mothers and fathers and being around these people, like when I go to church and see these groups of men, I see the children are confused who to go to for protection, who to go to. They're confused I can't ask daddy something because mama told me not to ask daddy nothing. There's no structure in the homes anymore. So if there's no structures in the home, then what are we doing? There's no structure anymore, guys. The men can't tell the daughters nothing. The women, the mothers are saying that these are my son husbands. There are boys out here right now don't know what hard work is. They don't know how, they don't mow yard. Their damn yards are like jungles. There are people out here paying. It's a guy I go to church with. He 450 pound, big old tall, 6'8" nigga. He got kids. He got and he hired a yard man. He hired a yard man and got 3 sons in the goddamn house. Somebody tell me what's going on. My son right now, he knows that grass get that inch high. I may do something to him if he don't if that yard not mowed.
But not only that, I hope your sons, if possible, they're looking out for their elderly within their community. Right.
Absolutely.
For the people that's in your community, like I'm asking you, your wife makes a good old big old plate of food. Go check on your neighbors and slide that food on over to your elderly people within your community.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing.
So
And that's
much.
why
Sometimes it's just a little bit that we can do. All of us are not going to be you. All of us are not going to be these amazing. Some of us, sometimes it's just a small thing, right? And so sometimes those are solutions also, just to make sure that we're okay within our own community.
Right. And that's the thing, and that's why Genesis had brought up something the other day. She said, hey, Black man, why don't you share the stuff that you share on your Facebook page with everybody in your YouTube space?
Yeah.
Right. And for privacy purposes, I want nobody to put my kids out there, and I don't want to have to, I don't want to be locked up. I be doing Black Man. Hey, welcome to Black Man Unfiltered, cell block 126395. We're here tonight. I don't have to be doing the show from prison because somebody disrespect my children. But if you go to my Facebook page, you will see that I have my kids. They're on trucks, unloading food, delivering food, putting food in people's car. Right? They see how unfortunate it is for people to not have food, milk, just the normal essential things that you guys enjoy every day. Right? And pictures of them going down helping the homeless and taking the homeless people these little bags we make for them, and I teach them these things, like these people. And my daughter, one of my daughters, she's just so into it now. I have to calm her down because she want to do it every day. And I say, Dad, I got to work. But we'll figure something out where we can let you exercise what you feeling. One day, this is what changed our life. One day, as a man sitting on the side of the road begging for money, he said, money or food, either one will help. My daughter was about to bite into a nice ass hamburger. She said, Daddy, can I give it to him? I said, absolutely. If that's what you want to do. We let down the window. She gave it to him. The man was so hungry. Oh my God. I don't even want to. The man was so hungry. He bit through the fucking paper. He started eating the paper and the hamburger together. That's how hungry this man was. And my daughter was like, Dad, I want to do that for people all the time. She said, can we just do that for people all the time? I said, yeah, let's find something. Let's go find a nonprofit organization. Let's get you into food banks. Let's get you to volunteer in there over here and doing that. And we'll take you and get you organized and get you around people. So yes, we're doing the work over here. But I agree with what you said. We have to help each other in the community. There's no reason, like Mandrell said the other night. Mandrell, he been on it lately. Mandrell been a professor lately on some shit. He get on my damn nerves about some other stuff. But Mandrell said something. He said, there's no reason that the elders in the community that are trying to teach us, there's no way they should be disrespected.
Starts with respect. We don't even respect one another on these panels at times.
Mandrell said it shouldn't happen. It's despicable.
Going back to what candidate Ann said, it is the little things, because we kind of do what you do, Black Man Unfiltered, except it's just me and my wife.
Okay.
Most of the time, but we'll just be out. I don't even care what restaurant we're at. I'll pay for a whole family. I'm like, and I look at the waitress. I say, you cannot say nothing until we leave the parking lot and you can't see us. It ain't about us.
Right. It's not.
It ain't about us.
It's not.
And we do it when we don't have to do it. It's not in the budget, because I know that's really given. I understand that. You understand what I'm saying? It's not to brag. I'm not saying this to brag.
Right.
I'm just trying to get it. I'm just trying to do it. I'm trying to show sis that, like she says, it's just the little things. You start somewhere.
Just, yeah.
So that's behind the scenes, because that probably changed their life. They might be able to, I don't know, right? But it's like she said, it's little things like that. And then for, I agree with Thanos, and when you have a problem trusting the brother next to you, because I read body language very well.
Yeah.
Right? Very well.
Yeah.
And you just look at so it's like, I agree wholeheartedly with Ken. Two things she said, stop dying for lost causes, pretty much what she said. I'm gonna say what she didn't say.
Right.
Stop dying for lost causes. Right. Number two, we need you to survive so you can, so we can get stuff done.
Yes.
But at the same time, I can tell you right now, even with Blackatron or anybody on this panel, I rock with a lot of you guys a lot more than some people that I know, just because I know what what we're doing.
Yeah.
We all mean well.
Yeah.
And I think we did a perfect example of how people can just disagree on certain things and not everything. of how nobody's yelling at each other neck, nobody's cussing nobody out. We're like, no, I need you to do this. And everybody was accepting, even down to me, to take the constructive criticism. That goes back to the respect Thanos said. You think somebody coming at your neck? No, we're just trying to give you a different point of view.
Right.
Just like Canada Ann did, just like Blackatron did, and Thanos did with me. I can say that for me. I can't speak for nobody else. But they gave me a different point of view. Be like, okay, now I can sit back and think and be like, all right, let me write this down. That's what y'all three did for me tonight. So
Thanks.
It's much love to all three of y'all for real, So I appreciate you.
It's in love because
oh yeah, definitely.
It's in love. That's all I'm gonna say because I feel like I'm getting emotional, but it's in love.
Oh yeah,
it's
no
in
doubt.
love.
Push that pride and ego aside.
Well, everybody on the panel has good intentions. That's why, even though we have different opinions, different pain, different whatever,
exactly,
all good intentions.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I think too. I think that being on this panel, I can disagree with Scam Likely, but don't let nobody fuck with Scam Likely though.
Yeah, hey, black man, the truth is.
That's how it worked with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Canada, you're not gonna disrespect Canada in front
of
me.
He's like a city over from me, so he don't have nothing to worry about. I got people. I'm like, where you at, bro? Don't worry, just stay there.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, come on now. We can have disagreements, but we still have to. Yeah. I think that's what the community. I think what the Scam Like I always say. There's no community. I think bringing a community together. That's what that is. We all can sit down at the table. We can agree to disagree. But when we leave that table, we family, and ain't nobody coming in to do nothing to family.
Yeah,
and I think before I go, and I'm about to go, I think like
we
on
about to shut
Friday
it down.
night. Yeah. But the solutions should not be up here. It should be when you cut that record off.
Yep.
Just a suggestion.
Exactly.
Just a suggestion.
Exactly.
I love
the solution should be off screen.
Right. And I want to get everybody final thoughts, man. Bernard, so since you're about to head out, me let Bernard go, then we'll go Bernard, Suchu, Mr. Bennett, Candid Ann, Jedi Mike, We Ain't Signing, Blackatron, Mandrell, and Thanos, and then we'll be out, man. Thank you guys for being here tonight, man. This was a great conversation. Shushu, I saw you get emotional early. Don't you do that to me. Don't you do that to me.
Oh,
you definitely don't want to see me. You don't want to see me tear up. Shit, I look like I'm a stunt double on The Color Purple. But I want to go. Shoot, don't you do that to me, goddamn it. But I'm gonna go ahead and give. I'm gonna start with. Let's see here. Bernard, go ahead with your final thoughts, man, for the night.
Yeah, man. I think this was very. I think it was a very great topic, and it wasn't too off topic how you did it because.
Right.
I just think it was awesome, man. This is one of the best, probably one of the best panels I've been on since I've been on YouTube tonight.
Thank you, man.
Because it was full grown men and women up here. We didn't have no females up here, and we didn't have no males up here. We had women up here, and we had men up here.
Exactly.
And I think that makes a difference. I think this is a stellar moment for other people and other panels to look at of how you do things. And like I said, much love to everybody on the panel. I really enjoyed every last one of you guys. Every last one of you have helped me tonight, helped me think even deeper to write some solutions out. And I appreciate all y'all for that. So thank you.
Absolutely, man. Thank you, man, for being here, brother. Hey, guys, if you have not subscribed to him, Bernard, go ahead and shout out your channel, man. Come on, let's get some people in there, man.
Huh?
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, I say go ahead and shout your channel out so people can know how to get in contact with you, how to watch your content, and all that good stuff.
I think he might have frozen.
Are you froze up on me, Bernard? I'll wait till he come back in. He'll fix it. He'll come back in. The beautiful and lovely Candid Ann.
I was taking a sip. I needed a sip. This definitely has been this is why I keep coming back to A Black Man Unfiltered. I thank you for allowing me to come up on your panel, for always respecting me and respecting my, my opinion, or allowing me to even give a different perspective and allow me to have a voice. So I thank you guys for that. I think this has been a wonderful panel of mixed individuals that this is what I want to see more of. I feel like this is the seed that starts. This is Black media that starts, and this is how we make change. I've met people on this panel from all over, different backgrounds, all across the United States, and I'm hoping that, everyone talks about how horrible social media can be and it's full of crap. I feel like this is one of the ways in which we can really unite, get some things done, get some unity, find out how we can build together. Right. And so I thank you guys. It's been a great conversation. I thank you guys. And my channel is Candid Ann. It's Candid Ann all over Instagram, Candid Ann on the YT here. So yeah, we talk about difficult conversations, but we always talk about them with respect. So with that being said, thank you guys for allowing me to be on here. Love, love, love you guys. And I'll see you guys soon.
All right. Thank you, Candid Ann. That's my girl. All right, let's get Mr. Bennett in here. Mr. Bennett, what you got for us tonight, brother?
Well, again, thank you for having me tonight. Thank you, everybody on the panel, for raising the bar tonight on mature conversation. This was fantastic. Just getting back to the topic, the original topic, and also in light of what Scam Likely was saying earlier, really about, can we separate? I think we have to. If we want to live this life, how can we? Real education is not just about information. Real education is about how do you process, how should you look at this information that you've been given? What do you do with it? And certainly you can take this energy in a negative direction if you want to. But in my experience, and I had to grow. I didn't learn a lot of what we was talked about tonight. I didn't learn that until college. And I did have to go through that sort of depressed time. But then I was among a group of others that said they were about doing something positive with the energy that we had. And now I'm in a position where I was the first one in my family to graduate from a 4-year college of institution. And I got 3 daughters on the same track to get out. I tell them every day that they are they are the freest. They are in the best position to take the platform that their mother and I have built for them to take their lives wherever they want to take them to. And so I constantly remind them of the blessings that they have, the opportunities that they have, but I also remind them all the time that was paid for with the blood of the ancestors as well. So I think the two can live together. Yes, I'm going to that gym. Yes, I'm going to get me a sandwich, but but I respect the fact that people had to sacrifice in order for me to get that sandwich. And I'm not going to hide that certainly from my children or their children either. I think they can coexist if you live in a state of abundance. If you live every day believing that opportunities are there for you, you can always do better than what you did before. And so I think they can cohabitate. But again, how we look at our figures, don't idolize people or events or whatever. Don't make monuments or idols of people, but don't bear them 6 feet under also. Some of these people that we talk about, as despicable as the acts that they did, a lot of them did some very positive things that have elevated Black people. And we can't just throw it on the rug that they didn't do anything for us. So again, that ability to separate is how we're going to be able to, take the positive of what these people did, the positive of what they gave us, and let's take the baton from what they did, even though they might have fell out. Let's take what they gave us and let's run with it and let's build a positive future together. So that's all we have to say tonight. Again, thank you so much for having us on the panel. Appreciate
you. And Mr. Bennett, before you go, thank you, man, for coming on tonight. I want to add to this what something that you just said, because we didn't get to him tonight, but Bill Cosby. You just said people do so many good things. Bill Cosby has donated. I mean, he's paid for so many children's college education. It's ridiculous. Millions and millions of dollars. And those same students said, oh, he's trash. He this, he that. But I don't see any of them saying his money is trash. Let me give it back.
Take the money back. Yeah.
Right. And so I just want to put that out there. We talk about people, and if we really gonna stand for something, stand for it. Say, listen, I can't stand this man. I don't want to deal with him or his money. Here go that college tuition back. I don't want it. Here's this degree back he paid for. I don't want this degree. Take that off of my resume. Nope, nobody's doing it. So again, Mr. Bennett, thank you so much for coming on tonight, man. I appreciate you, man, and we'll see you on Friday, brother. You know that.
Yes, sir. Yes,
all
sir.
Right. Peace.
Hey.
Mr. Bennett, guys. The one and the only, the most beautiful Shushu. It's 2 of them. She has a brother, but she came out better looking and better. She's more well spoken, and she's a little taller. And what is Shushu? What are your words? I know I'm gonna get it.
Well, first and foremost, I just want to say thank you, Black Man, for having this conversation, because it is a very sensitive subject matter, because it from music artists to entertainers, and even from our history, you know, it all can it's emotionally charging, triggering. And I think if anything, there is a good and bad to everything. You know, there's dualities and everything. And before you even said it, I had in my mind that was gonna be one of my points about Bill Cosby. Like, yes, he did what he did, but at the same time, so many people went to college because of him. So many people were inspired to go to an HBCU because of a different world. Like, I mean, you know, yes, it's horrible what they did, but at the same time, I mean, and with R. Kelly, I mean, you know, I Believe I Can Fly is like one of the graduation anthems, like all over the country. I mean, in all over the world, really. I think if anything, the biggest note to take away from this too is money is the great motivator. And what I mean by that is, in every situation with these men and these young girls, all of that, they were allowed to get away with the things they got away with behind closed doors because they had money.
Right.
Even when it comes to and how that translates even into the conversation that we had about how do we progress from, you know, to get further and have stronger power, more power, like politically and everything as a people. Money is a great motivator. We are like one of the biggest consumers in this country. Our dollars have power. They have value. And if we start really like regrouping, reorganizing, and reprioritizing our finances, we can be a major powerhouse because our dollars are powerful in this country. So those are my final thoughts. Thank you so much. Please tune in to Black Man Unfiltered tomorrow, where myself and my brother Mandrell will be hosting Unapologetic with Mandrell and Shushu. And you can also find me on YouTube, on my own YouTube page, and also on all other social media platforms at Shameria. That's SHUMERRIA. Thank you, and y'all have a good night.
All right, now, Shushu, before you go, I want to add to something that you said, because you guys are killing tonight. There's a documentary out, guys, and people that are watching, still watching right now. There's a documentary called "We Need to Talk About Bill Cosby."
Yeah.
About and Hannibal Buress did it. Now,
yes.
And what you need to watch it, but some of it will make you mad. Some of it you'll look at it like, One of the things that Bill Cosby did for Hollywood is when he did his action movies when he was younger, they used to do white men with blackface. Bill Cosby said he will not do another movie or a TV show if they will not hire black stuntmen.
Yeah, exactly.
They hired the first black stuntman because of Bill Cosby. Now watch this. As he got more powerful, his money got longer. They said the Cosby Show, every writer, every cameraman, every assistant, every janitor was black.
Like, yeah.
He hired nothing but a black nothing but a black producers, directors, writers, because they didn't have opportunity. So he he fired all the white people and opened up opportunities for nothing but new writers that would have never got an opportunity anywhere else during that time. Writers, actors, directors. He opened up a lot of doors for a lot of people.
Right.
And they admit this on this documentary. Everybody says it, like, this dude was all about black culture. He just had that thing about him, one of those things, you know? Right. So, but anyway, I remember my pastor said one time, I'm gonna let you go. My pastor said one time, we always judge other people, but what if God said one day, I'm gonna take your DVD and I'm gonna play it in Times Square in New York of all your secrets and things you did nobody knew about? He said, would you hide or would you stand there and watch it with everybody else?
Right.
Woo! All right, well, thank you, Shushu. We'll see you in a minute. Shugo. You have a good night. Okay, Shugo. Anything you want to say to Hink before you go? Because I know he watching.
Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite.
Hey. All right. So, guys, I want to bring in none other than the other half of the family. The one and the only Gymshark himself, the owner of Free Flow Clothing Company, Mandrell. Mandrell, final thoughts.
It's free flow athletics, first of all.
Nigga, it's free flow clothes. I mean, I just said clothing. Damn, I'm trying to shot you out. Damn, you can't see. That's what I'm talking about. We can't come together.
But at least get the word.
The community can't come together because of stuff like this.
Yeah, at least get the name of the company correct. Jesus. Reading is fundamental, by the way. Fundamental.
Motherfucker, what?
Reading is fundamental, man. Just
I can't
saying.
stand this bastard.
Just saying. Name of the company is Free Flow Athletics. Thank you for the shout out, by the way.
Thank you, sir.
You can also catch Maria and I this weekend on a special episode of Suzette Speaks. We'll be joining her on her show on Saturday.
Okay, hell yeah.
Yeah. So we got that going. And tonight it was interesting. It got way off topic, but I still think you're just as much of a scumbag if you can't if you still listen to R. Kelly's music.
Boo.
You're just as bad as he is. You're just as bad. You have no character. You have no. Why you even bother? Well, I guess going to church that fits in with being a Christian, a hypocrite. Good job. You claim that you wouldn't put your kids in this. Yeah, you claim that you would not put your kids in that situation and you protect them. But a guy who does these kind of things, you support his music, his platforms, his concerts. Oh, the music's so good. Yeah, that's it.
But there is something that I
yeah, and you're singing that trash.
must confess.
You're not bothering me. Yeah, you go right ahead. Keep singing
Baby.
the music of a pederast.
He ain't singing it, damn it, I'm singing it.
Okay, cool. Doesn't matter who's singing, it's his lyrics.
I don't see nothing wrong with a little bump and grind, Mandrell. Do you?
Okay. Y'all take it as a joke, but I mean, now that we know the difference, now that we know the truth, it's still trash. He's trash. You know what I'm saying? Everyone who's involved in it is trash. You have to.
Do you think the parents should go to jail too?
Absolutely.
The
people who sent their kids to them, especially them, they should go to jail too.
Well, go to my room for fun.
So,
she had me singing.
No, but anyway, good conversation. It's important to know your history. Just to get to this part. But understand, if you're African American and you're looking for a black community, first of all, you got to build it yourself. That's number one. You have to build a black community yourself because we don't have a black community. All right. Two, you have to be involved in the politics, not just involved. You have to be the politicians that run that district. Okay. Or city, whatever the case may be. People talk about Atlanta, but no, white people run Atlanta. Plenty of black people in that city. None of y'all run shit. Okay. And stop voting against your own interests. People. Starts there. No, you should not separate the art from the artist. In this case, in the case of R. Kelly and Brother Bill, they still haven't proven it. So there's that. Just a bunch of accusations. So we don't know. There's a question mark there. Bill Cosby.
Well, I guess I see you one day at Fort Liberty.
Maybe.
Stupidest name I ever heard in my life. That's Fort Bragg.
What's wrong with Bragg?
No, that's the new name.
They're not calling it that.
Yes, they are.
No, I refuse to acknowledge that. That doesn't exist. Okay. Vietnam is Vietnam. Okay. Fort Bragg will always be Fort Bragg. There was like 18,000 Fort Liberties in the Middle East. You know that, right? They changed the bases. Fort Victory, Fort Liberty, and it's like, which one is this? Fort Liberty. Which one?
Liberty Bibbity.
You know what I'm saying? It's like
Liberty.
make your mind up.
Liberty Bibbity. Hey man, that commercial have I'll be rolling, boy. Liberty Bibbity. Liberty Bibbity. Hey man, y'all listen, man. I'm trying to get final thoughts here. Hey, Hot Wife Uncensored. Chastity says, what did she say? She said, I'm still going to play R. Kelly. The parents of those kids need to be on trial.
And so do you for supporting that trash.
What about his sister? His sister should have went to jail.
Well, if she knew about it, yeah.
No, what she did to him.
Yeah. When he was young, she molested him. Terrible.
She needs to go to jail too.
Hey, but you know what? Let me ask you this, Mandrell, while you're here. Ayanla said before R. Kelly got arrested, she said she was going to do a sit down with him.
Mm-hmm.
And she knew about him being molested by his sister, right, when he was a kid. They asked her if he should be locked up. Guess what she said? She said, what I'm going to say to you is not going to be sexy. She said, because I know y'all want something for the camera. She said, but let me give it to you anyway. She said, whatever age trauma happens to a child, they stay in that state of mind until they're delivered from it when they get the necessary help that they need. She said, so R. Kelly's sister molested him at 12 years old, 13 years old, and he's looking at even as a grown man at 13, 14-year-old girls in his head. And that trauma that he received from his sister molesting him and raping him over and over again, that's where he stayed. That's where he was stuck. And
and that's why he's weak and he should be deleted from the gene pool.
So he's weak because he got molested?
No, it's because of what he did with that trauma and put that trauma and pain onto other people.
Now hold on, Mandrell. How many black people you know go get therapy for anything?
Hey,
especially in the 90s, in the 80s. Come on now.
Hey, I don't want to hear it.
I'm asking a question.
No, here's the thing. What he did was beyond that.
Him being a perv was his therapy.
Well, there you go. There's that. So if you're okay with him being a pervert,
I don't feel it was okay. I'm saying that was his therapy.
I'm saying
no, I'm talking about Black Man Unfiltered. If he's okay with him being a pervert.
No. What I'm saying to you and my brother Blackatron here is that when he did what he did, right? Okay.
Right.
If he did what he did, because none of these women, as a lot of people already know, a lot of these women can't back up what they're saying. There is no proof. And like you said, Mandrell, in the court of public appeal, if you can't prove nothing, you can't prove that. They have no proof he did anything.
No proof. That's my problem with it. I might think he's guilty of sin. I might think he's wrong. I might think R. Kelly is wrong. I might think R. Kelly is guilty of sin. I might think he's wrong as the day is long. But when it comes to putting out punishment for it, you got to prove it.
Right.
You ain't got no proof, and I can't just take your word for it now.
And I saw an episode. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna get Thanos in here.
You know what I'm saying? I can't just use your word for it.
Right. I saw an episode of The View, and on that View, what's her name? The she's black and Mexican with her pretty self. Jesus, she 50 something. She cute to me. But anyway,
The comedian?
No, the other one. The what's her damn name? I can't believe I can't think of her name right now. Anyway, she said she used to be a lawyer.
On The View?
Yeah.
Sonny Houston?
Yeah, Sonny Houston. There you go.
Yeah.
Sonny said with her pretty ass, Sonny said, as a prosecutor, she used to be a prosecutor, and she said the mistake that they're making in the court system with R. Kelly, she was talking about R. Kelly specifically. Whoopi Goldberg said there's no proof. They have no proof on R. Kelly did none of this. She said the reason R. Kelly is being convicted is because of public opinion and the Me Too movement. And they know if they don't convict him, they're going to have trouble on their hands with these women. Right? And she said in the courts, they have no proof, no video foot, nothing. Just the word of these women. And so Sonny Houston said, as a prosecutor, they've changed the laws where a woman's voice is the evidence, and that's all they need. Is the woman just and the woman believe all women?
Yeah, you can't do that.
Hell no.
You can't believe
you know what? I can send it to you. I'm gonna cut it up because I don't want to.
I don't doubt you. I'm just saying.
Yeah. She said, believe in the voice of all women. She said, when these women come forward on R. Kelly, believe them. We don't need no evidence.
You have to have evidence.
Their voices should be the evidence, is what she said. So right now, go look into the case of R. Kelly, and you go look through the public records of R. Kelly's trial. There's no facts whatsoever, evidence, nothing. Just
that's my problem with it. Again, now here's the thing. I saw the video where he had pretty much admitted to the shit. You know,
but the FBI said it wasn't him. After face recognition, they said it wasn't him.
The one where he admitted to it?
Yeah, they said he said it wasn't him in that video. I mean, the FBI said after doing face recognition and bringing Mr. Kelly in, Robert Kelly in, they did face recognition. They used all the new equipment and all new technology, and they say he is not in that video. That is not him. That is someone.
I'm not talking about the one where he
with the girl,
with the little girl.
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
He was at a gathering. He had some friends around, and they were just talking. Right?
Yeah.
Someone had a camera out while R. Kelly was talking. You know, they're all having champagne or whatever, and he's just saying, "Yeah, they should have came with me about that long time ago. They can't do nothing about it now." And he was talking real greasy,
right,
and arrogant with it. He pretty much admitted to the whole thing, and I was just like,
yeah.
That's when I went, okay, guilty. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, yeah, the parents got. But if he did do these things, then the parents got to go to jail. Everyone who knew got to go to jail.
Yep.
All the way down the everybody.
Man, the whole music industry.
Yeah, the whole
exactly. Keith Thanos, all of them have to go.
Yep, but they not though.
They all must burn.
Yep, they not though.
They should be cleansed with fire.
But we need to have I'm
inside out.
I'm gonna pull up Thanos, but we need to have
from the inside out. Yes, right, Thanos.
You know, and Shushu, I want to get Shushu on because
we'll make him swallow hot coals.
Yeah, because Shushu, I want to bring Shushu on to talk about the industry and the things that happen in the dark. But we'll do that later. But I'm gonna bring up my guy Thanos. Thank you so much, my guy Mandrell. All right, Thanos, what you got for us, man?
Man, I just want to say, man, I gotta wake up early in the morning, but man, this is one of those platforms where you just see we all should have had on suits and gowns because it was just so much class just involved, and I really do appreciate that. All jokes aside, these are conversations that need to be had. It's a lot of rhetoric that just gets spit on these platforms. It's very dangerous and irresponsible. So these talks definitely need to be had with the right people. It's not trying to exclude anybody, but you do have to do things right. You just have to.
Right.
Scam brought up great points that, you know, we kind of flow the same. I kind of got that, you know, feeling. That's why, you know, I asked you, you know, did you want me to bring him on and stuff like that?
Absolutely.
But, I kind of move like he do. So yeah, I definitely respect history because I'm a big history buff.
Mm-hmm.
I need to learn more of that, but I would definitely have to take it. Well, I can kind of take it now since I do have control of my emotions, but I think most of us do need to have healing, you know, first as a foundation before you put that kind of weight of history on someone, because it definitely like moves you and it don't take a long time to do it. But we also still need to be focused forward, also doing the right things. One thing I've said before on other panels is reaching back to help our community. It's a daunting task, you know, it's almost like dangerous. And I'm not even talking about with family members and the hate and to even be great coming out of certain communities, you have to make a decision. I want to be on the outside and take all the stuff that come with it just to make it out. So I understand when scams say, hey, I just want to kind of live that normal life. I don't regret it, but I respect the sacrifice they made, that I'm going to live my life to the fullest, that I'm going to do what I'm supposed to and try to open up doors for other people. So it's not that I don't want to hear about the stuff. It's just I have to control how I give it to my kids, you know, making sure they're in the right headspace just because of all the other stuff that's going on in this world. But, you know, we'll get there eventually. Everybody's not going to make it, but my whole thing is just start with respect, and that's what was an excellent show of respect tonight, and it should be continued. And that's all I have. Oh, protect your jewels and utilize your stones.
Appreciate you, brother. All right, man. I want to bring up We Ain't Signing. He came in, so I'm gonna let him come first, and then we'll have Blackatron last. We Ain't Signing. How you doing, my brother? We Ain't Signing. You still there? Okay. All right. I think he left out. All right. So our Blackatron, last but not least, my brother. Thank you for being here tonight, man.
First of all, thanks for having me on. And you're one of my favorite people in this whole YouTube streets. I don't know if you know that or not. But how can I say it? My belief is this about history. And I do respect history, and I respect that people paid a price for us to live the life that we can live now. They shared pain so we can live life. They died so we can live. So the option I believe is best is for us to make sure that we're doing the living. They had the pain, they had the suffering, they had the mental trauma. I don't think we should carry that on. I think we should let the trauma go and make sure that we're spending our time living. Had another point. Oh, the other point was this. Some people may think I'm some kind of heartless, cruel, whatever has been created. This monster that you probably may see. You have to be somewhat selfish and heartless just to be able to make it from here to the liquor store or here to go get a sandwich because no one cares. I've accepted it. It is what it is. And I realize that is not going to change. I don't believe that I can count on the the average person to the left or to the right. I have to go find people that I can count on. Some of them are different ages, different races. Their angels and demons have been fighting on this earth from the beginning of time, and it's not going to stop. I think we should evaluate the history. We should evaluate the present, and that will show you where the future is. A lot of conversations that have been rotating around through spaces, through life, through meetings, through whatever, and Black, what used to be community, and now it's just an existence, is getting to the point where we can almost say the same things word for word. If we need to, that's where it always starts. I think we should, and it's usually the same thing. Look in the mirror and take care of yourself first. Make sure that when you click this red X or when you log off, that you have a good life tomorrow, whatever that entails for you. If you're not having a life that you need, do what you got to do, align with who you need to align with to have that better life. Respect people's emotions, respect people's opinions, respect people for who they are. Control your emotions or your emotions will control you. Thank y'all for having me on and thank you for listening.
Absolutely, man. Much respect, man. Thank you, man, for being here. All right, guys. So I'll see you in a minute, Blacktron. So, guys, thank you guys for being here tonight. It's not about me right now. I'm not going to turn the camera on. However, guys, I think that everybody had their different perspectives tonight. But what I do want to talk about is when we lose someone that we love and we bury them and we mark their grave so we won't forget where they're buried, so we can go back and see them and speak with them and talk with them. A lot of people do that. For Father's Day, a lot of men and women went to graveyards with flowers that their father would never smell, had conversations with the ground that the ground will never hear. But in their hearts, it means a lot to them to go sit by the grave and believe that daddy's listening, to believe that daddy knows that you put flowers there. That's how it is with our history. We've gone through so many traumatic and devastating things. We're not, the older, my grandmother is 90. She's not sitting down telling me these things because she wants me to be in pain. She sat down and told me these things because she wanted me to be aware. My grandmother wanted me to know I went through this so that you may enjoy what it is that you enjoy today. I suffered. I saw my mom, things happen to my mom that you wouldn't even imagine happen. My grandfather talked about how his mom was deleted and her body was just left there for the family to bury. There was no services. They dug a hole and put her in it. And people go through these pains and these things, and I would never tell my grandfather, I don't want to experience your pain. Grandmother, I don't want to experience your pain. Auntie, I don't want to experience your pain. I don't want to know what that's like. No. I must respect my grandmother and the pain that she went through because it was pain. And even if my grandmother's 90 years old, she never got therapy. Maybe my listening ear is all the therapy that she needs. Maybe the ride in the truck with my grandfather at 14 years old was all the therapy that he needed. Maybe sitting by the bedside of my aunt as she passed away, and she spoke about her life and her marriage and her children and all the good and the bad was all the therapy that she needed. In closing, we can't discount what people have gone through and those who share what they've gone through. Thank you guys for watching Black Man Unfiltered tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you. The super chats, I appreciate that. I appreciate the cash apps. I appreciate the subscriptions. I appreciate the likes. I will continue to bring you this as long as you want to hear it. And I'm also going to bring it to you when you don't want to hear it, because I have to have that balance. Lastly, as I always say when I close, do something nice for someone. We talked about it at the end of the show tonight. Do something nice for someone. Go, Mr. Bernard said it, go and buy someone's dinner. A family that you see that may need you. Buy them dinner. Take them to dinner even. Buy a young lady's coffee. Take the homeless person out from outside of McDonald's and get them a room for the night at the local hotel or something. Do something nice. Do whatever it is that you can afford to do or whatever you can do, but do something nice for someone. You don't have to be religious. You don't have to believe in God. You don't have to believe in Jesus, Buddha. You don't have to believe in Allah. All you have to believe is that you're doing something good for someone. Do something good for someone, because that's the right thing to do. People need you. Show up. And if you don't have anybody to do anything nice for, and you're recluse and you're an introvert and you stay at home and you don't bother anybody, I encourage you, get online, find somewhere to go, get you a spa treatment, do something for yourself, guys, because at the end of the day, self-care is the best care. And you can't give a lot of love out when you don't love yourself. This has been Black Man Unfiltered. I love each and every one of you. Go in and kiss your wife goodnight. Wives, go and kiss your husband goodnight. Wives and husbands, go kiss your children goodnight. Single moms, much love to you. Go and kiss your babies goodnight. Tell them that you love them. Everybody out here, if you're beefing with someone, especially in the Black community, if you're beefing with your brother, go and ask your brother for forgiveness, or go and forgive your brother. Sisters to sister, aunt to aunt, uncles, parents, siblings. We got to start loving on each other. And in that love comes the change that we need to come together as a community to make change. Thank you guys so much for being here tonight. This has been another great episode of Black Man Unfiltered. Thank you for watching. Good night.
Thank you.